AK Moss. I told you, all we gotta do is keep working. Stand It's the beat for me. Rick Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. Ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Hain Street, it's the block for me. It's the beat for me. Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. I ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Tanya son, them bitches watching me. She go insane with the brain, swear to God, she a geek to me. I hit her once, then my youngin' fuck that now, she don't speak to me. Illuminati will be drilling shit, we do it secretly. Shh, I got the peace with me, respectfully, nigga, come peacefully. I got the pole with me, I know Bushy snatched her soul for me. She wanna roll with me, she said, Cooley, it's the road for me. She like when I fuck her for hours, she said the perky take control of me. Heat in the bubble coat if it get cold for me. Make my youngin' wipe your nose for me. It's the beat for me. Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. Ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Hain Street, it's the block for me. It's the beat for me. Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. I ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Tanya son, them bitches watching me. Got a phone in the block out of town, cause my young in the pounds and he dealing for me. Got a line on the pints, the Rocky and Trishan, he lower, this shit'll be free. This shit thick ain't no liquor for me. My hood bitch said she love me, I'm married, Dior overalls, the dicky for me. UXD is the switches for me. Like got security for me, but I got my pistol on me, spit like Twister for me. I run a bag up, sitting still. Phone pop, it's the Christian for me. I was fucked up, it was nickels for me. Now my spots in the county do triple for me. Niggas be hating, shit tickling me. Cooley the one is the ticket for me. It's the beat for me. Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. Ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Hain Street, it's the block for me. It's the beat for me. Red Bean playing laser tag, it's the heat for me. I ran 100 up through this pandemic, it's the streets for me. It's the rock for me. If she on the rag, it's the top for me. Tanya son, them bitches watching me. Indeed. What's going on, Brown Dude Life? How you feeling? What's going on, Ab?
Yo, what's up, man?
Not much.
Hope I don't got an echo.
Is your volume up, bro?
Let me check. Let me go make sure. I think so. This shit be having me tripping out, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this.
All right, I can hear you. Just wanted to make sure just the volume on. All right. What's going on, y'all? Another late night, early morning situation.
Yo.
Yep. All right. Perfect.
You better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Cool. Yeah, man. So everything's Gucci, man. You know, another day.
That's what's up, man.
Another day in the life.
Indeed. What's going on, John Doe? Yeah, I just got up not too long ago, man. I was ripping and running earlier, so you know was able to kind of just take a nice little nap for a change, and I see that I didn't have anything scheduled. Well, I did have something scheduled, but I feel like I'll address that later, at a later date.
Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah. I was doing some running around. I gotta get up early too, man. I gotta get some things situated. I gotta do my taxes too.
Yeah,
So I gotta go take care of that shit too. I'm gonna get that done tomorrow.
can dig that. Yeah, got that going on. I'm probably gonna be a Owen again this year, so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, facts. Yeah, man, another day in the life, man.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I wrote some key notes down, you know what I'm saying, based off what we touched on the last show.
Uh-huh.
and then and I had like a couple of questions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna be too long winded tonight. But
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
spoke on one of the things I wanted to touch on. We spoke on was the stability, man. I think we chopped that up, man. That shit was nice, especially hearing the playback and shit, like and
Mm-hmm.
listening to the chat and everything. They feedback, yeah, they did it. They did a good job with that, assessing
Yeah.
that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's key. I mean, key to anything. I mean, there's nothing more attractive than stability as far as what women see. You know, you could say like women might have liked you when you were younger based on the aesthetics, based on maybe your maybe even your personality, your charisma, or whatever like that. But your actual stability um, is more attractive because she could see that you're just like kind of like just a steady Eddie, just all the way through. I that's something that's going to really garner her attention. I mean, that's going to get her attention. You don't really have to even work for it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's like that thing. I like the thing back in the day, like they had that saying, where it's like they was courting each other. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And even in back then, it seems like the men they didn't really have to, what I'm saying, go out their element.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot different. Um, Now I would say it's easier, but then it's difficult as far as that whole the courtship thing. I mean, I wasn't doing that back then either. Um, but see, but the key with the stability aspect, you know, the women will know that, but they still, want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Because you're stable. This is better than, a guy that's basically, offering the world to me and, can't keep his world together versus a guy that's not offering, the world to me, but can keep his world together. That's going to be, more attractive essentially because, for one, that's something that's rare that she doesn't see. Two, that's something that she actually really looks for because it's something that she can't do on her own, pretty much. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's tough.
Mm.
It's tough, man. It is what it is, man.
Mm.
But yeah, shouts out to Logan too, man. Um, shouts out to the whole chat, but shouts out to Logan because he had mentioned too that, man. I like one thing he mentioned was that in a comment he was like, "We in a bad shape, as black men, and it's sad, man." That shit, you know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? That was like it made me think, man. I'm like, then listening to some of these panels I've been on, or just in the clouds listening to throughout the week.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
damn, man, still a snowball going on with the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. What's going on, Polo? Yeah, I mean the people are in bad shape, man. As a collective, yeah, what I'm saying. The people are in a bad shape, but as far as within your small groups, like within my group, like we're good. I don't like that's the
Yeah,
thing that matters. Like people really kind of focus on that. Like they just really kind of just focus on their own tribe and stuff like that. Then that's all that really matters. You take care of your tribe. Fuck everybody else. It's kind of like just it's just really the way of life. If you look at it, like when people talk about niggas been going to war with each other. Niggas always never got along. Came up with it. Since the beginning of time, it's been like this, man. We actually what they did how slavery happened is that the certain tribes sold the other ones off. They held them in captivity and basically sold them off to I'm saying to the white people and stuff like that. It's always been tribal. What I'm saying? Why like people are trying to change this whole tradition and trying to create this fake altruistic world where we're all just coming together and getting along and we don't know. You know, everybody's policies aren't the same. You know, what's the tribe policies over here is not the same as over there. You know,
yeah,
I'm not for everybody. I'm not an R8 kind of nigga. You know what I'm saying? I think, any real person pretty much that way. Like if you're cool with everybody, then I don't trust you. For one, you're definitely a snake. You know.
Yeah, that shit is like fishy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Mad fishy.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and I'm like saying it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you probably heard of it. You probably saw the footage of shit floating around all over. About that All Star Week and shit, and a bunch of stories and shit. But one of them joints that like caught my attention was one of the stories about my man who was the dude. He was recording his broad packing her stuff like late night, and she going to catch up with the girls and for the All Star Week.
She goes catch what?
She was packing her shit up, like when a little girl trip bag.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and my man was, homeboy started filming her and everything because he asking her a question like, where you going this time of the night? And she was telling him like she going to see her aunt in Atlanta. Her aunt is sick.
Wow, that had to been staged. What's going on,
That's
Emma?
what I'm like. That's what I'm like, yo. It had to be staged because of like all the stuff that's going on. They got chicks talking about send them money. They was setting up accounts talking about they stranded out there. All kind of shit. I mean, I said, man, yo, if this shit ain't comedy, man, it's like we're already in
Hmm.
bad shape.
Hmm. Yeah, like to me that just seems almost
Like
surreal. Like
clout,
people could,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
and for views.
yeah. Anybody's doing everything for attention. You feel me?
Yeah, these fake
So
ass moments and shit.
yeah, and plus it's like if your chick is packing up her stuff, in the middle of the night, talking about her aunt is sick. Come on now. And you sitting there filming it, you asking questions. Say you might like for me, you packing, you might as well pack up everything you got. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
And
ain't
give me the
lying.
key.
I don't even think she gonna have time to pack. I'm gonna throw shit out.
Yeah.
Real shit though.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fishy, man. That's why I had liked that comment he made because I'm like that shit is breaking down a lot of the shit that we see going on. I mean, not in these spaces like you said in particular, but
Hmm.
on the outskirts of things.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's why going back to with that piece about stability. Now you see how powerful that is, just all by itself, just
Yeah,
being stable. Um, because the thing is, women, essentially, when they talk about they need to feel secure in you, right? That's what they really mean. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about at the bottom of everything. I mean, talking about their heart of hearts need to be secure in you. Need to make sure that you're secure in you in order for them to be secure in you. And that's when you get
yeah,
all this the cooperation. These guys talk about the submission. I'm gonna help these guys out since they want to like really take my shit and try to flex with it. I'm just kind of like we talking about the standard since we on the standard. This is kind of this and this is kind of the how to be like Ice Turner webinar at the same time.
yeah, yeah. No, for real, no cap though.
you know, I
You know what
heard
I'm
my
saying?
lines. I didn't hear my lines so much, and it's just like, all right, man. These are supposed to
Yeah.
be grown ass men, children and
Yeah.
shit.
What's your thoughts
Grandpas.
about like you ever thought about doing like this is a random thought. You ever thought about doing like the audio clips and shit? Like, audio books and shit?
People have presented that to me. They presented that in writing a book. I actually just got finished one. Just I got my people's going through the proofreading and shit. The editing shit like that. Seeing basically getting a second opinion about everything. You know, so that's already done. Um, and to be honest with you, I didn't even like, and people have been asking me for years to do that. Like, I'm talking about like since early 20s, and I was just never really. That was never really my thing. I never really seen myself as an author or was an interest to me. You feel me? It was just like
Yeah,
even to this day because everybody's one. So it's just like it doesn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Everybody got a book.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
I always look to do something different. That's another thing. For me, I always look to do something that no one else is doing, and
yeah,
just be in that lane. I just get upset when people start, you know, following that shit. Like I'm necessarily, I don't want that to be trendy. I kind of just want to be in my own little bubble.
Yeah, yeah. Nonetheless, yeah, definitely. Me too. And that's what I'm like, who wouldn't appreciate, what I'm saying, those type of numbers, what I'm saying, as far as
Mm-hmm.
like sub count and shit, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to like reach out, what I'm saying, and still, like you said, cover your own market and shit, and do things
Mm-hmm.
a different way, your own way and shit.
You can dig it. What's going on, John? Now we're gonna do some fucking numbers. I mean, don't get it chopped, man. We're gonna do some numbers.
Yeah, yeah, that's the goal. That's definitely the goal, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely the goal.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
being like, nobody ain't I see what you mean. Nobody ain't really, infatuated. We do this shit, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like this is like a calling, man.
Yeah. That's why I realized. I think, I was really just kind of, in the beginning, just like playing around with it, just figuring it out. I was just doing the uploads and stuff like that. I really didn't start taking it serious. It'll be 2 years in April. I think I just started taking it serious. Um, just I would say like months ago. But this is like during if you look at the period of when I was putting out the content and stuff like that, like it was still like stellar, but it was just like, it was just a thing, you know. It's like but then I really started taking it serious and just started putting in just putting in the work and stuff like that. You know, and just realize, okay, maybe this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing here, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for real. Especially, you know what I'm saying, when the people start showing up and you know what I'm saying, that
Oh yeah.
love and shit, you know what I'm saying, you start hearing that shit reciprocate like that, man. That shit do a lot, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Appreciation.
Exactly.
That's a
Exactly.
tough one. That's a tough one. We might have to do one on that.
Oh, appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, 'cause things are.
Let you spice that shit up. You know how to do all that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Artwork and all that shit. I'm like,
um,
yo, you shit fly, bro.
yeah. That's something interesting there because on one end, you know, in one aspect, you teach people how to respect you, right? But then, on the other end, have you ever taught people how to appreciate you? So that right there is a challenge.
Hmm.
Teaching people how to respect you is not really difficult. I don't believe. I
Yeah,
feel like that's something organic. If you respect yourself, you're going to teach other people to respect you at the same level. Um, Appreciation, something different. That's going to be an interesting
that
piece
that
to
that's
talk about.
that's why I like that track too that came out a while back. Who was I think it was the Drake shit and somebody I think Ross was on there some shit that shit was like bring me my roses now or some shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my shit right there, B.
Mm. To bring your rose, yeah.
Yeah, the roses. He said put some flowers. He said before I'm going out of this place, put some flowers in my face, won't you? That shit hard, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, that's that appreciation right there. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, absolutely.
Wait till a nigga dead and gone to bring him his roses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of that is whack though. Because then people realize, how much of an impact you made. How much of an effect that caused. Long after the fact.
Yeah,
Hey,
paying
hey,
homage.
yo, bro, thanks for the IG, man. I appreciate you as well. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. See, that's the honorable thing, man. I think that's something that that's one brother is kind of like an unsung hero because as far as you know he was the first person that was actually pioneering the the uh the self actualization movement, right? Really, pretty much the only person that's really doing that, in my opinion. If you haven't subscribed to Man Cave's channel, I encourage you to do so. You know, um,
Yeah.
he's been doing that. Um, paying homage is important, man, because it's like the type of services that people like, even with this, the type of services that people are providing, you know, and for certain people, I could definitely vouch for and say that the services that they provide is definitely necessary. Just like the services that we provide here is pretty necessary in a way. I'm not saying everybody's trying to offer you something. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really pay attention to too much of what's going on. It's not anything personal. It's just like, for me, is when I'm focused, I become tunnel. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because then I got to really like zero in on exactly what I'm doing, what I'm conveying. Why I'm conveying it. Like, I have at least 100 questions I'm asking myself.
Deep shit though. Word
Yeah.
for me.
Mm,
Because a lot of times, some people they got we question have these questions and we spend a lot of time pondering. You know what I'm saying? And not figuring out how to get answers and shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Staying
Nothing I don't
stuck
think.
on one question and shit, or a certain question for too long. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that type shit.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, almost like the it's a different wheel, because it's like, you're asking who, what, where, how, the standard stuff, but then you're going a little bit much further with it. And when you arrive at that answer, you're asking yourself, well, how did I arrive to that answer? And can I come up with a better answer than that? Can I come up with a better idea than that? That's when you really start pushing that think tank. This is why I can pretty much just hit a record button and talk, because my mind is already made up. It's already put together. You know, it's already like bred to pretty much go.
Stay in go mode. Yeah, man.
Hmm. Yeah, it's that saying. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah, well prepared. Hell yeah, man.
Hmm. Key right there, Polo. He said, "I avoid saying I don't know when asking myself questions to avoid mental blocks." Yeah, when you say you don't know something, right? Okay, it's obvious. Okay, you might not know the answer, but you don't say that you don't know, right? You say, "I will figure it out,"
Yeah.
because once you do that, then because you stop your mind from going and shit like that. You stop yourself. It's just a form of laziness. For me, I like to figure things out. I like to figure out everything works around me, and I utilize I utilize a lot of things, with that thinking. I mean, you got to think about your own thinking. It's another piece I would do. Maybe a drop. Just think about your own thinking. You know, is another. You
Yeah.
said it was another. You said it was another question you wanted to ask, or is it?
Yeah, yeah. About where I'm at. Uh, yeah, about basically like in this space, right? We know that we can't shit.
You already good, brother?
You hear me?
I can hear you a little bit better. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about the numbers, right? So I was saying, like, do you think it's going to take somebody to get to that, reach that mark? Like, as far as like with that embodiment of like that Mac life talk for the game to kind of shift as far as the space goes.
What do you mean? You said the mat life, as far as what, like getting on a bigger platform, or?
Yeah, like basically, you know what I'm saying. So like to get that kind of, let's say like where almost like to how Kevin Samuels would have his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
type shit. You think once because there's a lot of people out there like niggas doing numbers. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I mean, I still don't think it had tipped the scale yet. I still think it's too much of that. You know what I'm saying? That rhetoric of like we always be talking about. Like that shaming shit with the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's common. I mean, you know, within the the black sphere, the black space, pretty much, it's like the projects. You know, getting out of it, you're going to basically be doing a lot of scrapping. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you're going to get jumped. You're going to get a lot of things just going to happen, man. You're going to get roughed up a little bit, and you're going to be roughing people up, and it is what it is. You just kind of expect it, and you just be ready for it. But in the meantime, you put out legendary projects. And it's going to be room for other people to make moves and to eat and stuff like that. So that's definitely not going to be the only one that's going to be a big fish. So it's pretty much, and I don't really look at the calculation, man. Everything is in the revelation, not in the calculation, because you can look at the numbers right now. This person can be here and this person could be there, but then boom, something happens, that person's going up. you know it's just like it's just a matter of just being, what I'm saying, just consistent to the process. That's why I say, look, bro, you got it's 24 hours in a day. I'm saying, you probably have your work thing. You probably have, what I'm saying, your thing in your personal time, you know. But you have at least 1 to 3 hours, that you can make available. Why not utilize that towards your channel?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Straight production and all that going in, right?
exactly.
Content.
Exactly, because the thing is, what you're doing is you're feeding the algorithms, and you're not only feeding the algorithms, you're really developing you're priming your own pump.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said this is automatic. It's just, you're constantly doing this. You're constantly doing this. That's why I know, like, this anything else that I do in my life, I'm a big routine person, and routine is boring for people.
Yeah.
Success is actually boring. So this is why I do it. You know what I'm saying? I live a very boring life. You know what I'm saying? But I stick to it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Keep it going. That wheel's going. Everything is a circular motion. It's just like that velocity thing is like where David had the slingshot. He hit the slave Goliath because he was swinging that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And he kept
Yes,
swinging,
sir.
and it built strength. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yo, Polo, you hit it right there in the head. They was players, then pimps, now Max first, because they don't know what the fuck they want to be. They got all this equipment, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like they're wearing three different uniforms. And then they feel, because it's popular, because now it's popular because I made it seem cool to them. Like, go back to being pimps and players, but then, they realized, because from a rap song, but I could have been told those dickheads that Mac was the hierarchy of everything. And I explained that in a video and gave a brief description of that, you know? This didn't come from a rap song. This didn't come from anything else. This actually comes from really being outside. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not motherfucking Skip Bayless or motherfucking what's the other nigga, Stephen A. Smith, like a lot of these niggas. These motherfuckers, what they basically are, just like that, man. They're game analysts and shit. What they basically are is just virtual pimps, players, and
Yeah.
hooks. You know
Yeah.
what
I
I'm saying?
see.
That's why
I see.
like, because I'm like, all right, where's the receipts? But I'm like, these motherfuckers, okay, there's no receipts. They're trying to show me you know, these virtual stats and shit. Like, oh, okay, you guys are like this online. Okay, I got you. But like, when you cut the computer off, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you fucking, I don't know what the fuck you do.
Real
Ain't,
talk.
ain't shit anybody jobs, but it's just like you're really a nobody, essentially. You know?
Yeah, real talk. It's like
hmm
or some weirdo shit.
Oh yeah, he said Goliath equals
That's a
skull and
fact.
bones 22. Yep, that's crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
that's deep.
Mhm.
That's deep.
Yeah. Once I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, that's what you guys are virtual. This is kind of like more of like an aspiring actor. Like, you aspire to be this. Where, like, you hope that people believe you enough, or you can convince people enough that you're actually this. So then you actually get some type of status on here, and then you can somewhat become this. Okay.
You think a lot of people really know, like, as far as like the like what's going on with the market value wise, or people just like jumping on the trend? Because like
Jumping on the
what
trend.
you say, like, yeah, like, because they say YouTube, what I'm saying, they had donated all of this money, that they got for content creators. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking that question.
The trends.
Yeah,
They
right.
basically they pay attention to whoever they deem as basically cool, whoever is, whoever that they seem it seems like they would be appealing to women, whatever they're doing. If I'm basically walking around and talking about just fucking pistachios, right? Or just dog shit. I'm talking about just different kinds of dog shit, and I made it sound really cool to you, and you think that the chicks would like that shit, and you think this would actually make you popular, make you somebody, you'll start copying. You know, you'll start basically having shit stains on your shirt, and talking about pistachios, and what I'm saying, only because it's just you just make convincing. So it's not really even about the money. These guys don't let them tell you it's about the money. It's really about women. It's really about having they never really had beautiful women in their life. They never really been popular. They never been somebody in their life. So that's what it's about. It's about getting the attention of women that would normally ignore them. You know, but they'll probably still ignore them even if they get that. That's the part they don't really understand. You know,
Yeah, they
and it's
don't
and
know.
it's a
They don't
and
know.
it's a different speed. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different speed. That's the thing these guys don't understand. You know what I'm saying? It's not levels, it's different speed. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with different tiers of women, is different speed. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with women that's basically used to basically dealing with guys that have stats, that have situations, right? You know, something that's just regular degular to them. And you come along, all
Mhm.
bushy eyed, wet behind the ears, you're gonna get mangled. You think you got all this game and stuff like that, man, they're gonna tear your ass apart. Gonna show you how much you don't know. Because it really ain't game, dickhead. It goes back to what I said, stability. So when you do arrive and you're stable, it's gonna work.
That's a fact, man. That's a true story right there.
Mm-hmm.
It can't fail in that aspect.
Mm.
It's no real like definition, like you said. You got to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these dudes, they just talking, but like you said, you got to be a part of that culture to be able to talk that type of shit and
Uh-huh.
be able to get that message out there like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you gotta really be honest. These motherfuckers ain't talking about pimping and all this other shit. Ism. That was because I was popular last year. Now it's macking. But the thing is, I want to see some receipts. How many actual businesses that you own? How many businesses that you're on the books with? Right.
Hmm.
And then I want to see those women. I want
Yeah,
to see those people that are actually paying you. Then I want to see your vehicles. Then I want to see where you live.
yeah. Show and prove, yo.
Yeah,
Real talk.
that's it. If you then what qualifies you. You know. In fact, we get past this stuff. We'll do this. How much do you got in total? Because that's what I'm gonna start asking niggas. How much do you have in total?
Yeah.
You know.
For real.
How much? Yeah, it's right. Let's get right to the point. How much do you got in total? Because I ain't want because there's certain things. You know what? I already know they ain't got it. And if you ask the person who they were before YouTube, they're not gonna give you an answer. You know what I'm saying? How much do you have in total?
Word up, no cap.
The underrated darkness is going on because when you call yourself a certain thing, right? You gotta understand what comes with that. Where are you verified? You know
Yeah, because
where?
that means you got you supposed to have access to shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can tell by see what macking is. That's a lifestyle thing, and it's you could tell just by the particulars if someone is really living that, and you could tell by the air. It's another thing. It's an air to it. My man, respect, underrated. It's an air to it. You know what I'm saying? It's an air, and you can it's things you can explain, like it's like a ball player knows another ball player. You feel me? A mechanic knows another mechanic. You don't have to even, talk about playing ball, but you just feel the vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know a ball player when you see
Yeah,
one, because when you playing, it's just like anything else. A player, and then what they have that the wrong concept of what a player is or whatever like that. Just like they had it mixed up with a Mac. A Mac basically, has his mouthpiece and he's working women out of the club to take them home. I've heard that, and it's just like, no, no, buddy, it's not how it works. Then a pimp is about, sending. It's more than that. It's more to it than what you've basically seen on DVDs. There's more
yeah.
to it than what you've heard
And
on
trying
songs.
to look up a definition because you're not gonna find a real like you know.
The respect, underrated darkness, man. Much appreciated. It's like, it's like basically I'm saying, like, I'm a heart surgeon, right? I could just, since everybody's doing this, since everybody's, players and pimps and max right now, right? They're doing all this stuff. I'm gonna say I'm a heart surgeon for now on. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm a heart surgeon. I, yeah, I didn't go to school for that. No, I ain't go to school. No, 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 no. I've never been, in a surgical table. No, 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 no. But I'm a heart surgeon. Yeah. It's like when you're a kid, right? When you're a kid, you got this big ass imagination. You got a little football, and you think you're going to be you think you're in the NFL and shit. You start running around. It's like this. It's like that's what's going on. What's wrong? See, I want to bring it to this. What's wrong with actually just being a man? What's wrong with just being an adult?
Mm,
What's wrong with just being a man? What's just is that hard?
yeah,
You know, that's
a
that's
gentleman at that too. What's up
yeah.
with that? You know what I mean? Bring that back.
Well, that's what's up. I mean, that's one thing you know, they ain't really my area of expertise right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I'm
But
working on that.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah, you ain't lying on you ain't lying on that one.
No, I'm definitely not on that tip.
You got, shit. We need some, just like some of the women could use some of the etiquette classes and all
Yeah,
that type of shit. You got some of the fellas that could use some. They need the gentleman school. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I need to take one of them sensitivity workshops. I'm
saying?
just gonna be, yo. I'm like, oh, okay. you know, but that's where where your areas, and it's funny because the women in my life, they can joke about that too. Because they'll even bring that up, and I just I can laugh. They even do my voice impersonations. That's pretty funny. Or something I would say, and I'm like,
It's a lot of shit.
yeah, I'd be laughing, dog, because it's funny. It's like, yeah, that is true. Yeah, I didn't know it really sounded like that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think I came across any broad that can do me yet, but
Yeah,
I won't be surprised.
yeah. But I mean, that's just like what they just. I think for me, just really just pay attention to me. They
Yeah,
kind of just find it very, um, I would say, peculiar and intriguing. Same time, it's like, how do you just okay? How do you do that? How do you you just get away with stuff like that? Yeah? I don't know. It's just the way I am. Wait. Emma Jackson opposed her. She said, "So how many men in these spaces are the real deal in your opinion?" Uh
great question.
Very good question.
Mm. I mean, small percentage, man. I mean, I don't really like to name drop, but
hmm
me myself, I say, um, definitely, your boy, man, the other Ray J. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
He the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Got to count
Mhm,
you in there, Ice in there.
mhm,
Um, PG, I like most of his shit.
mhm,
I fuck with Q Reeves a little bit. BOA, BOA. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to find some more good content. You know what I mean? Like a lot of more other big dudes, but I say on a smaller scale because I don't really delve too much into their shit because it's like I think it's more so for the people who need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
mhm,
to say squares, but
mhm.
majority of them. You know what I'm saying? But the
Yeah,
other brothers, so I say like EMS, You know what I mean? Just
Right.
it's a lot of dudes out there. It's a few.
Yeah.
It's more than a few. I say more than several.
Yeah.
You
I can
know?
say like I can definitely vouch for. I like Kuda.
Yeah, Cuda, Cuda. See, yeah, I see. When you start naming, you mess around, and leave people out.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, Cuda's
Yeah,
tight,
I
man.
like I like I like what he's doing with the tech and cigar piece because I do catch that because he can actually make that interesting as far as with the equipment and stuff like that because I didn't even know what he was talking about at first. Like he was like, yeah,
Okay.
you got the P74 with the R76. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I had to Google that stuff. Then I started Googling it. Then I started like YouTubing it. Then I started going online and looking at stuff, and I started like understanding that way. So it was like you basically sparked something in my brain that caused me to go look at what you were talking about, so then I can understand what you're
He a
talking about.
beast with that shit. He a beast with it. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. He be on that shit, all that type of shit.
hmm
Cause the first
Um.
thing I heard was that microphone shit. But yeah, go ahead. My bad. I don't even cut
No,
you,
you
but
good?
cut the good.
Oh yeah, Man Cave vlogging channel, Young High
Yeah,
Flyers.
let
Yeah,
me write that down. You said man cave, right?
yeah, Man Cave vlogging channel.
All right.
Definitely subscribe to it if you haven't. Young High Flyers. Yeah, they both have been. I've been on their panel. They've been on mine. You know, those are genuine brothers. In this space. You know,
Yeah.
you get that's another thing. You can hear it. Underrated darkness.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with him. Yeah, I fuck with him. Yep.
Yeah, you know, and I'm saying they're all coming from different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, what I deem as someone that's thorough, right? Is someone that is who they say they are. You know,
Yeah.
and you can tell that they are who they say they are because you can feel the weight. It's nothing easy breezy. You feel me? You can feel the weight of what I'm saying. What they're conveying. So when you're genuine, you can sense genuine people across the board. You know,
Yeah, and that footage, you know what I mean, that helps too. Like
I can't hear you, brother.
footage, you know what I'm saying? When you seeing people out there like that helps too.
Yeah,
Dude saying, staying behind the camera all the time. I mean, behind the icon all the time. You gotta show some receipts, like you said. You know what
yeah. I popped up once by mistake. Like I think I cammed up, but I hit the wrong button. But that kind of like,
I
but you know what I'm saying that. But that answered a lot of questions because dudes was trying to look for any type of angle. They were trying to take shots at me or shots back at me. You're like, well, you know, I don't even know what you look like. And I'm like, why are you concerned with what I look like? You know what I'm saying? I, Come on.
mean?
Or you say I'm not. Then accidentally they see what I look like. So it's like, yeah. Now imagine if I do this all the time. I'm not here to sell my looks. I'm here to basically generate dialogue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And if I was here to try to be a sex symbol, that's a different thing. But it's like if I really just start camming up, I'm gonna get your female audience. You know, I don't. I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm good where I'm at. That's the part they don't understand. Like that's where that's another particular is like where if people say that they're what they are, like they say that they're a player, they say they're a Mac, right? Now this is popular, right? It's trendy. They're a Mac, right? Then why they
yeah,
pressed? Why they
yeah.
pressed over internet females then? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They said a red
Good
pill with
question.
twerking. What's going on, Logan? Yes, then that's another thing, man. It's just like that's where it goes back to that stability thing. Stability plays a key role in it. It's like
Yeah. With that being said, and then like you said, like the end goal and result being, legacy and shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that was another keynote that we was building on. That's tough shit right there. Like
absolutely,
get straight to the chase, man.
yeah, yeah. Get right to it, because it's like as I said, I think the last one I was talking about making every everything you say and do count. Make your conversations count. You know what I'm saying? Make your actions count. Everything you say and do has to count. I mean, it count, you know, with a level of gravity that's going to cause that, things that change around you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
surface. You know, this is how you challenge the status quo. You challenge what's being brought, and mind you, I might have said things in a certain way as far as when I mentioned like different clubhouses or whatever like that, but it really not. Mind you, I'm going to go to, was it sensitivity training? If there's such thing, I should work my manners. Yeah, I work on that, but it's just how that's what people say about me. It's more so how you say it. It's not so much is what you're saying, it's just how you say it, and yeah, I work on that, but it's just like for me, it's just I give it raw and uncut. So the reason why I said, look, I'm against these certain entities that are here, pretty much all of them, because I'm telling you, I'm coming as myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I don't. Okay, so now listen to what I'm saying without these pieces attached to it, without these pieces influencing this.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, deep shit.
Mm,
Look into yourself.
exactly. That's the answer right there. A lot of people, you hear that stuff that they say it's in you or whatever like that. It's in you, not on you, or it begins with you, or it's stuff like. No, but seriously, the moment you really start, doing that, you, you're not going to be on here. Just like what another thing. A lot of these guys in the spaces, right? They're kind of like the guy at the pool at Bethesda. They're sitting there, for years on end. Asking the same, fucking questions. You know, Basically just being analysis paralysis and not really doing shit, about themselves and about their life. And just looking to be coddled and babied and shit like that. And Jesus just told them, get up and walk. That's your problem right there. Just get up and walk. You know, that's what if you want to tell a lot of these people in here, just stop being a pussy and just do it. You know, just get up and do it. I see these messages change. They track record is flimsy. Exactly. And messages always change on here. Rolo. It lets you know who they are. Their messages change. My message has always been the same. My style has always been the same since the very beginning. If you trace the origins, and now what you see, that people are trying to rhyme like ice, you know. And what I said, it was prophetic a long time ago. I used to sing the Michael Jordan song, but I flipped them, changed my words. Like, sometimes I dream that he is me, that I can be like ice. I wanna be like ice. Yeah, that's what's going on. Even these old niggas want to be like me, man. And it's kind of like, you outside, it's like they're eating their Wheaties, right? So I said before, it's like they're eating their Wheaties. They see me they see me on the box, right, the cereal box, and they hoping one day that I'm gonna pull up in the limo, and while they outside shooting jumpers, I'm gonna say, "Good job, kiddo," but I never arrive. Creative learning was good. It's a sweet metaphor. You dig? Yep. They talk about knowledge of self, but can't explain it deeper. Exactly, bro. And I was the first person to really, I'm talking about, bring that in. You know, that knowledge of self, and I gave different variations of that. Now, if you even go back further into the catalog, where I'm breaking it down in different ways. I'm breaking it down in numbers. I'm breaking it down in science. I'm breaking it down in different ways. Even what I did recently, the hidden knowledge of self.
Hmm.
The owl edge. How many people are going to look at stuff like that?
Yeah, man, that's it. I see you got your pen and your icon today. Yeah, the penmanship, man, real crafty, brother.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Got the pin. You know what I'm saying, that's the nickname. See the brothers. gave me that nickname here, the Iceberg. I mean, King Iceberg. So it's Iceberg Pen. Even I don't use one to write things down. I just drop the inspiration. You know what I'm saying? You got the alien, man, because I got that special knowledge, right? Wisdom is different than that owl. You know what I'm saying? That owl edge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The God frequency, man. See, that's another thing. They could try to sound like me, but I bring that God frequency, you know, that God energy, you know, that generator, operator, destroyer. You know what I'm saying? And a man of God, right? Master, able, and noble as a generator, operator, and destroyer. What's up? Hmm? Are we talking teams at this point? Huh?
Feel me? Yes, sir.
You know. So that's what I'm presenting in that way. Like I came at that, so it's like, well, how dare you? You know, for one, I'm not really, I didn't join these little spaces, right? Then I'm basically saying, I'm talking about godliness, talking about like righteousness, and not the righteousness that is presented to you in certain spaces, right? But what actual righteousness is, um, and being honorable. See, these are the things that need to be really conveyed. See, all this other stuff, this game and blah blah blah. You know, for me, I'm gonna show you how to be honorable. I'm gonna show you how to be thorough. I'm gonna show you how to be right and exact. You know what I'm saying? These are all the key pieces to being stable or being sturdy. That's what we like to say. Stability. I offer a woman stability. You know, I offer you stability. You can't fake this. You can't name a time where I'm a different person. I'm the same person every time you hear me. I offer stability. You know, you gotta present something that someone else cannot. What is if everybody's a salesman? What's gonna make you unique from other people? You know, what do you have to offer? I offer stability. Now I got other stuff. I got other gadgets, and you want to talk about game. If you want to talk about this game, this little mouthpiece and stuff like that. Okay, we just say, what is it? You're having a crispy mouthpiece, right? Um, you know, Realistically, I don't know anybody that can talk shit better than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just so if that comes down to that, I can offer that, but it's just like I'm not. It's just what I mean. Be regular, it ain't a big deal to me. You know what I mean? It's like having something for so long that it's just not a big deal to you. You know, it's like you see the people that have the money, right? That have been wealthy for a long time. It's not a big deal to them anymore. Or people that were, really attractive, right? Aesthetically appealing. It's not a big deal to them anymore. You could go up and say, "Oh yeah, you're beautiful. Oh yeah, you're so handsome," or whatever like that. And it's just like, okay, you're welcome.
Like you said last time we was building on that. Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, indeed. Respect, creative learning, NYC, God frequency. Yep, 963 hertz. Righteousness, as I observe it, it produces momentum of power, like no fat and other practices. Exactly. Righteousness, man. Right standing in your right frame of mind. Being in your senses. That's another thing I spoke on in that, right? Being in your senses, your common senses, in your cerebellum, right? And if you look at the cerebellum, it's the same shape as a bell, upside down, right? Then I said, look at the local churches. Why do they have a bell, right? Because you're saved by that bell. You're saved by your cerebellum when you're acting in your natural self, when you're being in your senses, your common senses, when you're basically pretending to be someone you're not. You're acting out of your element. You're acting, far away from your common sense, and you're believing the lies. You're believing the lies other people tell you about yourself. You believe in the lies you tell you about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're not operating in your common sense. Truth is common sense. What's prophetic is common sense. Being in your common senses. You know, people make complicated things, make the simple things complicated. It's just common sense, being in your common self. You know,
Yeah,
what's going on,
man.
Brian? How you feeling? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. And going back to what I said before. Now, stability. You show me a man that is stable. And I tell you a man that's on his purpose, because that's your purpose, is to be stable. And that's
That's game right
what's
there,
going to be
man. That's
attractive.
game.
Yeah, that's real. That's
$1 million
real talk.
worth of game.
Yeah, right there, bro. Why do you think I sit there and told people this, right? If I'm interacting with women, I'm not like being all long when I'm not being fancy. I'm not, doing the Magic Johnson no look passes, doing all this goofy stuff, right? Or be looking for little entries, whatever like that. I'm walking up and I'm just having a regular conversation, and I'm right to the point. That's right. Like I said, I could pull my phone out and she'll put her number in. I'm not even asking for a name. I'm not asking for anything. But what's causing her to basically feel comfortable enough with me to put her name and number into my phone, and then she's basically telling me to give her a call when you do make the time. Please make the time for me. Why is she saying that? Because I present stability. I'm not some goofy that's just walking up trying to get her attention or whatever like that. See, what I'm doing is what you're doing. You're taking out the old air. Now, mind you, she got a bunch of dudes. She looks like anything. She's got a bunch of dudes in her face all day long. And I'm saying a bunch of noise, like Charlie Brown. Right? This is old air. Yeah, yeah. It's stuff she's dealing with all the time. So then she's going to forget what you said. You know how long after you're gone, even a short while. So, you know what I'm saying? You're putting basically the same air into that balloon, right? Instead of taking that air out of that balloon and putting in new air. Going back to what I said, right? Air, frequency. You put it
Woo.
when you come through, it's the God flow. New air right there. What now? Now you have it. Just like just anything else, you're providing new air, a new experience. That's why I called it the Ice Turner experience, something you can't define, but you can only experience with me. You can only agree to it once you came in contact with it, because it's something. And even though you're not familiar with it, but you like how it makes you feel, where it's going.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
yeah, man. I like that shit. It's like that,
I can't hear you, brother.
like that abduction. It's like being taken to a whole nother planet, galaxy.
Exactly, exactly. Well, you see that alien on there, right?
Yeah, man. Classic.
You see that ship. You see that outer space piece that we did on a Mac Air channel. It's just really just taking you to a different stratosphere, taking you to a different universe. You know what I'm saying, invading our cosmos. Did that piece. You're changing the stars. You're aligning them differently. You know. Hey son, I keep planets in orbit. You did.
Oh yeah, classic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's how you gotta bring that. Brother Logan said a couple of things. I don't want to. Righteous has been viewed as something whack in this day and age, but what they fail to realize is that righteousness gets you in good standings with God and ignites the God in you. Real talk. Yep. Come on now. Come on. That right there was powerful. Come on. Oh man, that gave me joy right there, man. Man, I got the Holy Ghost. Like real rap, look, I got the Holy Ghost. I felt it, like I felt activated.
It's deep. Good shit.
Exactly. Add water, fasting. intermittent fasting and working out, subliminal audios. Yeah, I've been drinking this alkaline water. I've been drinking a gallon of that. And I just started. I just started doing that, and it's dope. I think it's definitely good for your focus, you know. And I eat a lot of greens. So if I don't really eat salad, I eat the sautéed spinach and fish. Omega right there. It's real good for you. You know,
What's one of your favorite fish?
my favorite fish is probably snapper, and I like Chilean sea bass. So it's a combination between Chilean sea bass, uh, snapper, but I only like it steamed. And I like wild caught sockeye salmon. So I eat it with the skin. Like I grill it to keep the skin on it. Like when the skin gets nice and that's a nice little It's not like a crunchy, but it's kind of like a chewiness.
Okay, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I put a little bit of I put like a little bit of seasoning, but I put some rosemary. That's the key. I put a lot of rosemary on, like rosemary, a little bit of garlic. I sliced the garlic up real thin, sauteed the garlic, like cook that. Then I, put it on the fish. Then I put the rosemary on it.
You
You know.
normally you cook your fish like some of them do like the Caribbean island people they put them like in that aluminum foil and shit.
Yeah, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Caribbean.
that shit wavy right there. I
Yeah,
like that yellow snapper too.
yellow snapper's good.
Yeah, that yellow snapper, that shit tough, man.
Oh yeah.
Shark. My people's from South Carolina, so
Okay.
we eat a lot of shark and shit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in New York, though, I was living in New York one time, messing with my people, my Filipino homies.
Are you drink? Trying to I think I might have gave out a second.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm saying my Filipino homie one time in New York, he invited me over to a function, family function. They had some tuna they threw on the grill, man. That shit, fresh caught tuna, that shit was crazy.
Oh yeah, they can burn too, man.
Yeah,
I know a couple young ladies. You know, we kicked it. You know, they can cook. They had put me on some dishes and stuff. Um, I'm open to anything. It's as long as you don't have no pork. You know,
yeah, facts.
no pork or no catfish or anything like that. Like anything that's and I'm not saying like, I've had shellfish before. I'm guilty of that because I get clams with my uncle at least once a week. So it's kind of like our thing. I kind of link up with him. God, have clams and beer and stuff. You know,
Yeah, that's smooth, man. That's
yeah,
smooth.
yeah. Kind of like traditional in that sense. Is like like the dude Frank Lucas and American Gangster. Like you just do the what I'm saying, just the regular routine type of stuff. Like you take his grandmother to church
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Sundays and stuff,
You
and
know
then
what I mean?
leave.
Classic, yeah, classic shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that feeling, man. I was chilling with my elder cousin. I think that was what yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, he almost like 80. You know what I mean? Kick back, got a little bottle. He like to chill. You know what I mean? Get a little
Mm-hmm.
drink,
Oh yeah.
shoot some shit. You know what I mean? Get some
Mm-hmm.
game from him.
Exactly. Ooh, right there. I actually did it. I read an article. It might have been in Scientific American Mind, and Bria touched on it. The colon and intestines is like a second brain. It actually is because what you eat affects your mood, mental agility, etc. Exactly, exactly. Because they said your stomach is your second brain. If you want to look at someone's mental health, like look at their stomach. You know, that's what they were saying in the article. Now I'm not saying that, but that's what it said in the article.
No, the shit. They must know what they talking about. That's for sure. I mean, see, that's that old saying too. You are what you eat.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. That's the crazy part. So I'll be going to sleep now. Catch the replay. Indeed. Good night, brother,
Yeah,
man.
I'm about to dive off too. I'm gonna be in the clouds, yo. You know what I'm saying? We're
Indeed.
gonna touch this here for a little bit longer. I'll be in the clouds listening to shit.
Indeed, indeed, man. Yeah, it is like what, almost one. Yeah, I ain't gonna do a 5 hour drink. We did it last week. Yeah. And I did I probably sign off because I did like two. I might have did close to 2 hours, or it might have been a little bit over 2 hours the other day. See,
Yeah,
sometimes you don't look at the clock. That's another thing. Once I did that, so when I look at the clock, I'd be making it short. Sometimes, like, nah, I'm done. But then when I don't
yeah,
look at the clock, I'd be like, dang, I was on this long. Like, the hell.
yeah. I think them shits be like made to go that way though. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
you need to get them shits like in them shits that's like
mm,
real deep, thoughtful conversations and dialogue. So then when you
mm,
start really chopping up them spills and they like short clips. You know what I mean? The
absolutely.
people still love it. You know what I mean? They got mad shit. You got crazy catalog anyway, so they always got shit to
Indeed,
go back
respect,
to. You feel
respect.
me? Yeah, much
Indeed,
you already know. But
indeed,
yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Shouts out to your chat, man. Respect to them. You know what I mean? Appreciate the love always. Looking
indeed.
forward to that Mac joint you doing too, man. Like I said, that editing is so fly, man. I know the stream gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely gonna do that. We definitely gonna do that. We got something else. We got something else on the way. We ain't gonna reveal that. It's actually tomorrow. It's actually tomorrow night. So that's gonna be heavy. That's gonna be
Nice,
heavy.
nice. So I'll be
But
on the lookout for that, definitely, man.
exactly. And be on the lookout. What's it said? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the roast jack. Ha. Yeah, that's coming. He right now. He ducking it, man. Like he got the smoke for a brawl. But it's like, see, the thing is, he came at me, right? And that's my thing. Like, you come at me disrespectfully, you know. And I'm not going to get into it. I basically have talked about it before. People know what they do wrong, right? And this is where I think my problem is with when I say as far as being a man, when you're wrong about something and you know you're wrong about something, you know, or if you've done something wrong, to another man, right? Then own it.
Yeah,
It's easy to say, look, my bad. I was tripping. I was in my feelings in the moment, or I just thought that I could get away with what I did. Apparently, I didn't. No, they don't do that. See, that's why I'm talking about as far as with being honest, being genuine, and stuff like that. Being real, it's hard pressed. You find this stuff like how are you helping men, and your pipes are clogged because of that. You know what I'm saying? I might come off like an asshole, and I am. I admit that. I'm working on it. Right, a little rough around the edges, but I'm real. That's one thing you're not gonna. I don't care if people hate me. There's people that hate
hmm
me, people that love me. They'll say at the end of the day, you know what? I still real one though.
yeah.
I just a genuine
They
person.
gotta respect it. They gotta respect it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I you know what I'm saying, like I said, like I'm not the nicest guy in the world. I gotta basically, yeah, if there isn't a sensitivity training, I poke fun at it, man. But it's just really, I you know, but it's just at
that's
least I'm being
honest though.
honest with
That's honest though, for real. Oh, that's
you.
honest. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. You know, I got a buddy of mine that's more, it's way more diplomatic than me. You know, it's way more diplomatic. And this is like, I really, no,
Yeah,
no,
I be trying to think of myself as I'm not that diplomatic because I'll be like
no.
into 100. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm a sad, so you know what I mean. I get argumentative too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're a
Yeah,
Sag?
I
Oh
argue the
yeah,
shit out of somebody, debate all day, man. If I that's just
yeah.
something that I teach myself every day. For the longest, like you was talking about earlier with that self. You know what I'm saying? Realization and shit. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Checking shit at the door, man. Nigga, grown man shit.
Yeah. Off rip, man. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get right to the point with stuff, and it's just swift justice. It's like, look, let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out the way first before we do anything else. You ain't willing to get this out the way? All right, then get away from me. Let me get you out the way.
Facts.
Wait, you talking about
Right.
weight? Wait, weight sunk the ship. Get you out the way. You know.
Clear that out the way, word.
Yeah. Problem solved.
On to the next one.
Exactly. But
Good.
that's just how I conduct myself, and that's another thing right there. What you're doing, because I respect myself so much, and I love myself so much that you know I'm going to present that to you because I'm teaching you how to deal with me. I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm giving you the winning combination lock, or is it the codes or whatever like that, the cheat code, how to deal with me. He said,
Shit.
he said, Ice, did he expressly say something about you? Did he take down a lie? Yeah, he did a long time ago. But it's not even about that. It's not just that per se. It's who you line yourself up with, and said that
Mhm.
because you have the same level of penalty as we, because he has an unpaid debt with me, and since you align yourself up with that and did that, you're going to get, you know what I'm saying, justice served to you in that fashion. Don't try to sweep it under the rug because you know what you're guilty of doing. You know, we know what you did as far as with and I come on, look at what I talk about, Macology. Look what how, the artwork. Anyone that knows, what I basically conveyed that Priest Youngblood was a Mac. You know, gave you an idea from it, and then I see the artwork up there. And I
Mm.
see then not only the artwork, then you got the theme music, same theme music that I have. Then you got some certain talking points that I have, and it's like someone had to present that to me, and I really allowed that to just go the first time. I was like, you know what, I'll just go over there, show, I'm saying, show love, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes it's like I saw a video with Lil Wayne. It was Young Thug, right? Young
Yeah.
Thug had Lil Wayne's tattoo on his arm and stuff like that, and so he was a fan. So he wanted to introduce himself to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne like egged him. So he's
Mm.
like, he felt the type of way about that. He's like, man, I was kind of effed up, man, because it was like the first introduction. So I was like, kind of like looking at that. I was like, because it's like I've been doing this long enough that okay, that's a good sign. If you basically have that happening, right? That means you're doing something. So it's just like, all right, cool. I'm not going to do the same thing that Lil Wayne did, you know. But then like a week later, dude takes a sub at me with, I'm saying, somebody that is my op.
Mm.
So I'm just like, damn. And I ain't, it's just like, okay. But people do anything for clout on here though. That's what it really just comes down to, man. These guys are talking about us coming together, but there's how could you come together with people that have no backbone?
Yeah,
That have
because it's
no
like some of these, most of them is like, they feel like they trolls, man.
Yeah. Well, they are trolls. But and then they'll basically put that on you. They basically put you out to be the bad guy. But it's like, okay, then I'll be the bad guy then. Fuck it. What else you got? So, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? My thing is I'm a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? I was basically, you know, groomed by men of that same ilk, you know? So this is pretty much all I really know. The type of guys I've hung around, they were stand-up men, you know? I only understand things in that way. So I realized, okay, that's just a tribal thing, you know? So I can only deal with real people. I can only deal with genuine people at the end of the day, you know? So people talk about it's all come together. Let's just be realistic. Slavery, were thrown in, a lot of us were thrown into slavery because it was tribal wars, because it was tribe against tribe, because everybody's policies, everybody's guidelines and agreements are different from everybody else's. We all didn't come together and come along. We were all kings and queens and no, we weren't, man. Come on, you know. There were archies. There were social archies of what I'm saying, of that as well. Like let's just
Yeah.
be real. And we had come from we were all over the world. You know what happened with
Yeah.
us over here? That's a different conversation. It's just like
Yep.
it's a book that I recommend. We were here before Columbus, and how we got basically tricked out of a position. It's a different conversation. But I'm not going to get into that because
Yeah.
I'm not playing with beliefs and stuff like that. People's, religious backgrounds.
Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, yeah. My old head just sent me some shit from New York. He sent me some emails and shit, some YouTube links to look into some of that shit you talking about, that native shit and all that. So I got some homework to do. But
Hmm.
yeah, man, let me get up out of here, man. I'm gonna catch up with you, big homie. You already know, man. I appreciate that shit, man.
Indeed, man. Indeed.
You have a
I'm a,
blessed well, I can't even say night.
oh yeah, blessed morning. You
Blessed
know,
morning, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we'll get up, man. I'm gonna link you over the net or you or hit you on a you already know, email or some shit.
exactly, man. All right, I'm gonna get with you, good brother.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Excuse me. Take another sip of this water. We're getting this. So Latinas have a lot of bad old school food habits. Yeah, it's just the that pork thing. And I'm as I've gotten older, I'm getting away from the fried stuff. I can't deal with the fried. Prefer it steamed or baked. Plus, it's good for you that way. Say you're going on vacation. Salt can be bad too if you don't manage your water intake and plan to use the salt exactly. And I stopped using salt a long time ago. Just my uncle told me. He said, if any advice I'd give you, don't use salt. You know. Now I do have like a pink Himalayan salt soap, which works like wonders. Um, because you don't even realize how much dirt you absorb just being outside. Like I'm not talking about like I do construction work or anything like that. But just being outside and stuff like that. And then when you use that, and it's not even a scrub, you just rub the stuff. It's like wow, it's crazy what you see. I definitely would encourage anyone if they go to like a natural health store to grab that. You know, you said there's not much loyalty here on YouTube. So many people have fallouts. Exactly, fallouts over the dumbest things. They're not even like real because you know what it is. It's based on agendas. They see the thing is they might have came in and agreed on surface to one thing, but everybody has a different agenda about it. Like they're not honest with you. Now, recently we had a situation um where as though someone had presented a Mount Rushmore to us. Now it's already three of us, so there's like a missing head. So I didn't even think about this at the time because I got other things going on. So it was just like there's another head missing. So but their agenda was to bring somebody else on, that I don't get along with. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's basically across the line, went way too far beyond that line to where as though it's not repairable. It was in a sense we could have had a sit down discussion, but what I'm saying, I don't know if it'd have been good for him because I'm very honest. Like you're not going to be able to hide and cut corners and try to maneuver with me, you know, because majority of my day I'm basically having sit downs and doing negotiations and discussions and stuff like that. So I know BS when I see it. I know how to catch it. So that once his agenda wasn't met when he was presented with something as far as like where are your priorities, what I'm saying, he creates this situation, what I'm saying, pretty much has this little hissy fit and peels off. But it was like I didn't really understand it until I really caught that, and I was like, yep, you know it's just like where other ragers said he had a video, they were never your friends. There's no such thing as a falling out. Those people were never your friends, they just revealed themselves to you, you know Absalom, yeah, he did. He definitely did his thing. Indeed, peace, King. You already know. I would say God, but people, it's a little sensitive. Not getting used to that aspect. And even though many accounts in the Bible were telling you that you are that. You know, one day I'm actually going to have a discussion about that. One day. Not saying that you are the God of all gods, but you're made a little bit lower than the angels. You know. A little bit lower. What do you mean by you're a little bit lower? Because you don't necessarily have the wings. You can't fly around, do all this stuff like that. But you have access. You know. He said channels like you I enjoy listening to. It's balanced and informative from the conscious and conscious level. The rest of these channels are just gossiping and complaining channels. Yeah, respect, Logan. Respect. You know. That's why that's why I'm offering. I can't sit there and say like, oh, I came in here and I wanted to save the day. I wanted to save the world. Mind you, I didn't really even know if I even wanted to do this. You know, I didn't know if this was really a thing for me. It was just let me just try it. It was just okay. I knew I knew something, right? It was just transferring what I knew into making it, I would say, teachable. You know, but I can say that now. Like I enjoy being a content creator. I'm just not a YouTuber. If that makes any sense. I'm definitely a content creator. And I can hold that badge with pride and honor because I am a content creator. When I say I am a content creator, that means I'm creating content from my own original ideas based off of my life experiences, you know, and offering that to you. I'm not taking something from somebody else's channel, trying to remix it, you know, messing it all up, you know, coming with my own school of thought, my own way of life and offering it to you. That's why in the beginning when I presented, Macology or Scripture of Game or Wise the Serpent, you know, or the Don Juan dialogue, like things like these installments, because these are different. As I said, it's in kaleidoscope form. These from different formats. I never really said, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. No, I'm ice. That's why I had the videos, who the men said, oh, I am. Like, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you'll catch on to it as I'm talking. You know, that's pretty much it. He said, wait. I thought you were above the angels. That is why Lucifer is jealous of man. Mm-mm. He said, I made you a little bit less than angels. He was jealous of man because man had access to God. He was basically in command. He was, one of the lead angels. He's still an angel, but he's just like a fallen angel, pretty much. He had, but that's why he owns the music. He was in charge of the music. You know, so that's how he basically played the situation in the garden. He said that the Bible is in allegories and parables, from my understanding. Exactly. It's a lot, and I said before, the Bible is a book of psychological regeneration. That's why they say, um, you know, to transform or to have a renewed mind. Or being born again. These are all like psychological shifts. It's shifting into something new. That's why he says, "Into you're made to my image, into my likeness." You know, until we have almost like mind. You know, you can't have the mind like God, but you can have the mind of God. This is where you get the reward of the kingdom. This is access to the magic kingdom. That is the magic kingdom. Once you've basically looked at, you know, it internally within yourself, he said, I will raise this kingdom up in 3 days. I will build my kingdom up in 3 days. So they're like, that's why everybody was looking at it from the fleshly standpoint, and they're like, yeah, we're going to be rolling. I want to sit next to you. I want to sit next to you. And no, I don't think you understand what he means by this. You know, he said, you channel is low key. However, the atmosphere is pure. Men and women can have constructive conversations and be honest. That's what we need, especially as black men and women. Exactly, man. Exactly. I welcome everybody here. He says too deep for most people. He said BX in the building. D, much respect to BX in the Bronx. Yeah, it is. I mean, I understand that, and people said, "Well, you have to tone it down." I'm like, dude, I'm just talking. I don't know. Like, this is my routine. Like, how do you dumb it down? Like, I don't know. I would be frustrated. You know. He said the story is a story of consciousness. Exactly. There's the subconscious, which absorbs everything. Then there's your conscious state, which you need to tap into to basically be aware of your surroundings and what's going on, what's really taking place. And also, there's the super conscious, which that right there is what heals, what I'm saying, your subconscious, and which really steers your conscious to move ahead. It's kind of like being natural within the supernatural, going back to common sense, you know than a super sense. I said 11 in the chat. Exactly. 11 in the chat was 111. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning. I could take that. He says a random question: was Lilith Adam's first wife? A lot of people speak on Lilith, and it's debatable. That, as we know, that the book is omitted. It's a lot of information that was just taken out. Um, based on the Roman Empire, as you'd say, the Roman Church, Catholic Church, whatever you call them. Yes, the answer is yes. And as far as if she came back again, see, that's where people are. There's different schools of thought. You know, what I mean. I've even heard someone saying that that the serpent was Lilith, and there was some type of you know um, situation that appeared that whereas though they were supposed to have some type of orgy. That's why the Bible had spoke on certain things of that magnitude. But um, see, that's still debatable. There's different schools of thought, you know. And I've like looked at it and pondered upon it, and there's like there's a possibility, you know. But the whole thing with Sodom and Gomorrah was based on you know um fellatio, pretty much, and anal sex. That was actually shunned upon God. You know, but that's again, that's too much. You know, that's what the issue was. Pull up. I think when you take it literally, it calls you to be more like animal like and dogmatic. Yeah. And more so you can become pretty judgmental in a sense, you know. Very dogmatic, because how you arrive to that answer might not be how someone arrives to that answer. And when I look at it like this, just like with church and religiosity, right? Like people go into a church, and some people, you got some people, I don't drink, I don't smoke, um sing on the choir, I pay my tithes, so I'm better than you. But you murmur and you complain, you backbite and you gossip, you're mean spirited. Those other things you don't really add in. Are you see versus the person that, okay, he might drink, you know, he might smoke, it might not even make it to church every Sunday and stuff like that. But he's got a good heart and he gives to people and he tries his best. So, who's better at this point? Then when you look at it like this, you gotta look at it from this other standpoint. What God's more concerned about is your belief. Is your belief. That's what he's more concerned about. Do you believe? If you go through a certain circumstance in your life and you're panicking or you're about to panic, do you believe that, all things work out to your good? Do you believe that God will see you through this? When the wind and the waves are beating at your boat, beating at your mind, do you believe that God is going to basically calm that water eventually? Or when you get thrown in that fire, right? So many times, so many accounts, God was actually shown, even with the three Israelites that were thrown in the fire. Meshach. I remember their names. Oh man, I'm not even gonna try to do that. Like, kind of having a brain fart, but you get what I'm at. So he has a problem. He's more concerned about your belief. So when you don't believe, that is the greatest, sin, you know, against God, is when you don't believe. Remember I said before about doubting your own doubts, because you have a belief, right? But then you have power beliefs that are contrary to that. It's like the wheat and the tare. All comes down to really how does that psychological regeneration happen? Is by you believing in the wheat. You know what I'm saying? The healthy part of your thinking, the healthy part of your mind, and you're combating the part that is pulling you down. It's pulling you away from the truth, pulling you away from your senses. See, being in your senses is seeing God. God is seen in the revelation, not in the calculation. You're not seeing in what's going on. He's seen in the revelation. That's what I tell you to, walk by faith, not by sight. But I'm sorry, I kind of just went off in that tangent there. He said, Ice, does Egypt and Babylon represent confusion and chaos in the mind? That's a good question. It's a really good question. Now, there's many people that hold to as far as the Egyptians being a certain way. In that particular book, I feel as though they were about, as far as holding the Israelites into captivity, enslaving them, having them in bondage and everything like that. Babylon, yes. Babylon definitely represents confusion and chaos. Egypt, I would say it's more so bondage and oppression. So you have bondage, oppression, chaos, and confusion in the other one, in the mind. The three Hebrew boys, exactly. Said to me, so when the Bible talks about killing, it is a representation of you getting rid of those bad thoughts and ego. Exactly. The fallen aspect of yourself. Like, if you look at Jesus and Judas, that's why he told him to basically go ahead and do what you do. He took the sop, right? Because Judas represents your lower self. Jesus is your higher self. So you have to kill your lower self, you know? So it's not so much even killing your ego, it's killing the unhealthy aspects of your ego, because there's healthy ego and there's unhealthy ego. Just like there's healthy selfishness and there's unhealthy selfishness, you know? So you're basically destroying it's about you destroying, is you taking out the toxins of it. Now, I'm sure you've heard the acronym to egos, edging God out. Now, you're edging God out of your life. How are you edging God out of your life? How do you edge? It's the same thing, you edging out the kingdom of God. What is the kingdom of God and what is God? God has put himself in you. So you're edging God out of you to deal with a problem that you can't solve without that God being in you and being in the sense of that, in the sense of your God self. I'm not trying to sound like one of those guys, guys that be on PBS, with the black turtleneck, the black pants, and barefoot. Like, I don't know, one of those guys was Wayne Dyer type dudes. Like, they no. I heard people say that the serpent technically did not lie to Eve in the garden. he did offer the power of suggestion, and he did leave some information that was omitted. But he set it up like this. He said, because he came up, he said, now, did God say, for you not to eat of all the trees? So he set it up that way. So that was to open up that dialogue, even though he knew what one it was. So she basically said, yeah, it was, he didn't say that. He said, we can't eat of that tree. Then he's like, then he basically put in doubt, right? Going back to what your main belief, what God told you, right? Then you have the parabeliefs, what someone else has told you, the tear. Now, he didn't say you would actually die, see, he basically said, he basically presented it in a way like you're missing out on something. He said, because you'll be like gods, knowing, the knowledge of good and evil. Which, yeah, you were right in one way, but it's already twisted it, right? Because knowing good from evil, yeah, you'll know good and evil, right? But from an evil disposition, from a fallen disposition. Yeah, you know that. So this is what you fell into. See, you see where he left it omitted, so he didn't lie, right? But he did leave something omitted. He twisted it. He twisted it. That's what he said. I was deceived. I was beguiled. She was. Adam just rebelled because things didn't change until he ate of the fruit. Whereas though after she had bit the fruit, he could have knocked it out of her hand, or even just the fact that, him even approaching Eve, that shouldn't have happened. Because he was basically there to what? To protect. A lot of people speak on provision, on in these spaces. They talk about provision, but they don't speak on protection. You know, that's another part of stability. No, the covering aspect. This is for guys that, want to be responsible with, with women, right? This is that type of conversation. You want to be responsible with women. You're not just trying to just stick your wood in them and, and tell them a bunch of lies and say, yeah, I got all this game and all this, I'm player and all that dumb shit. No, this is you being responsible. Now you can have one woman, you can have a couple women, as long as you're responsible and you're stable. Part of being responsible is being honest. Major part. Then the other aspect is really just that protection. Yeah, protection, provision. You're doing more than just providing money, as they say. I'm a producer. I produce what's in my hands and what's in my mind to, generate income. But that's really not, when I say that's for me. That's, yeah, it's really for me as far as when I'm building towards, my vision statement. Towards that. You know, women that are brought into my life, they're there to, assist that. And do they get rewarded in the process of assisting that? Absolutely. Now, I worded it properly for people to understand it, but then people want to present it in a different way. Oh, yeah, well, that sounds like you're tricking. Does it sound like I'm tricking? Stupid. That's the problem with you guys. You have 25 senses exactly. I'm going to get lost. Where am I at here? I'm going to catch up to these comments, brothers and sisters. I do apologize. We have 25 senses exactly. Good question. Get into this symbology. Es amor, mi amor. It's important. God knew that they would eat of the fruit, so why did he allow those chain of events, like giving them free will access to that tree, allowing the serpent to access to them? Well, he did that because it's already set up. He already knew things. He knows everything from beginning to end. He wanted to give people that free choice to basically, God wanted to create a family. So again, he creates the wheat and the tare. There's people that don't want access to God, you know, they want the things of the world, you know, and there's people that actually want the things of God. Or if they didn't want the things of God, God put it in their heart, you know, so God basically wanted a family. You know, this is just a system, as he said before. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways. So there's a lot of things you would say like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Why would I? Why would? So I'm thinking to myself. To me, it's like, why would I set up a system that's going to continually break my heart over and over again? You know, but that's God. So it's just more so he wanted to create a family. So this is how he created a family through this. You know, I believe this is a test on whether we would listen to him. Yep, he just answered that right there. And I even if he would answer to the call, what is a higher call? People always say the higher call. The higher call. He's the higher call. The higher call, the mark, the standard. A lot of people see. A lot of people tell you all this other stuff to confuse you, and tell you this all this other stuff. It's really simple. You know, that's why it's important to listen to people that are operating their senses. It's the reason why I'm putting things out here. So now when you look at things, you know, you can actually see it. You know, when you hear things, now you can listen because it's just certain things that just need to be put into the atmosphere so you can see it. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. You know, just like people throw around words discernment, you know, discernment comes from being, you know, really in tune with your intuition. You know, people will say that, you know, they say, oh, women, oh, they're emotional, they make bad decisions, da da da. Yeah, you know, you can make error in your own thinking. How many times you didn't thought your way into trouble? How many times you didn't thought your way into really stupid decisions that cost you? It's the same. You know, there's emotional errors and there's logical errors. But what you need to basically have is to be, you know, aligned with your intuition, with your intuitive side. See, a woman that's, you know, connected to her intuitive side is going to present, you know, strength, wisdom, fortitude, you know, insight, pleasantness. You know, a man that logic, right, is basically in tune, right, with his intuition. He's going to basically provide guidance. He's going to provide, you know, insight. He's going to provide power. You know, he's going to provide new breath, right, as being from the heavens. A, a man that's, you know, properly aligned, you know, in his intuition is going to bring the heavens. And what is in the heavens? The heavens pulls you up, right? I'm pulling you up. This is how you know when you're dealing with a man that's operating in his God frequency, you know, as the heavens, because he's pulling you up in this conversation. You don't feel lifted, you don't feel elevated, you know, it's because he's fallen. You ever listen to someone and you feel like getting pulled down a little bit? They just sound dead, sounds flat. You know, it's almost like you drink their water and it's very lukewarm. You know, it's pretty much that we got here. It's the same say that the Garden of Eden story explains how we developed reflective consciousness. It's a good point. But the question is, how often do we reflect on that, on our state of, on our conscious state? You know, we speak on solitude, man, but a lot of people are afraid to be by themselves. A lot of people are afraid to be alone because, you know, then they got to revisit certain nightmares. You know, that their subconscious will bring back. You know, I said a long time ago. I said this for women, but it's really even for a lot of guys. I would say, you know, your sometimes your memory is your greatest enemy. You know, unresolved issues. How many people were basically dealing with unresolved issues? You know, well into their 50s, 60s. You know, This is when you don't grow. Life is about evolving through. People are too much focused on evolving too. I want to get to this. They're basically looking at how you get through that. See, it's not so what's your destination, right? It's about what you became along that destination, what basically died off of you along that destination. And that's what the wilderness is symbolic to. It's killing off what's wild. So, but Logan, why do we have to all pay for their mistake? Because we would have did the same thing, you know. This is exactly the same thing. Yeah, because you understand they were in a space of innocence, so it was like they were in the potential of. If you got to go back and look at the piece I did, you know, my theory of the Garden of Eden. I think I did a live stream on that. That really explains a lot. It gives you an idea because they were operating. They weren't familiar with what was presented to them, and then once they became familiar with what was presented to them, right? You can hear God, you know, say that, but they didn't. It's like you still don't have it firsthand. You know, I can tell you certain things right now. It's still not firsthand. I can tell you this, and then you know, I can tell you some information right now. You go out and do the exact opposite, and it's like, well, damn, you know, because it's not firsthand. He said, "Are animals in nature symbols of the human body?" Yes, if you look at the hieroglyphics, um, as well as you can look at with astrology and stuff like that. You know, that's a good example. When you look at like the different signs and stuff like that. And I did do a little piece on that when I was talking about the what was that? The owl having the dog body. He says, creative learning, because we now have that type of mind, Emma, unlike any other animal. In fact, the only thing that really separates us from the animal is a book that tells us what we should be doing. Like, just to be perfectly honest with you, this is why we're supposed to, you know, raise from, you know, from the dead, from our own dead selves, from our own grave, from, you know, our uncivilized, you know, just way of life, and you know, being a new way. And that's another thing, going back to stability, is like when you're stable, that means you can create a way of life. It means you are a way of life. It's the one thing you provide a woman a lifestyle, but or a life, but can you provide a way of life? You know, if you look at Adam, you look at the serpent. You know, the serpent offered a system, even though it was, you know, it wasn't to our benefit, it's to his. Um, you know, Adam was just happy to be with Eve, and he provided, you know, things, a life, but he didn't provide a way of life. So we can contemplate ourselves, good and evil. Yep, we have, you know, God and Lucifer in us. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. You know, that's why the Bible says, you know, no man is good. Because people say, oh, I'm a good guy, I'm a decent guy. No, you're not. You're lying. Anything good you see come out of me, it's definitely from God. It's the God in me, not me naturally. Nope. Nope. That's some honesty right there. Because if I didn't have God in me, oh, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm well aware of who I am. Just like I'm well aware of who I'm not. Amen, Jackson. That's why she, aka Jesus, came to redeem us. Exactly. Washi. All civilizations have some sort of tree of knowledge in their myths. Yeah, it's all branching off. Just you even see it on just pretty much everything. People say, "Oh, it all started with Kemet, started with this." Look, all this is here for you to take from it, right? Everything is connected. You know, as below, as above, so below, as within, so without. All this is supposed to be internal. You know, looking at things internally, the things outside of you is for you to look inside of you. That's the purpose. When you look at, you know, literature, you look at, artwork, or you look at what's just going on. You know, my theory could be the garden be a blood ritual with Adam and the serpent. That's interesting. That's something I'm gonna I'm gonna look at it again. Then I'm definitely I'm gonna get back with you with that. I don't know exactly when, but I mean, when someone says something, you know, real intriguing like that, that kind of puts me on a mission. Like, I'm gonna take a look at that. It's a good theory because if you look at what's going on right now, what they said in the shadow world with the blood rituals and stuff, that's what makes it really deep. Yeah, it's so much stuff with that, man. Just I said within the first, you know, uh, I would say the first 5 chapters of that book, it's so much. It's so much to really take in. You know, realistically, all the answers are really right in Genesis, but you read the entire book, but it really gives you an idea of how just civilization starts, begins, and unfolds, just from different levels. You know, just like when you look at different things, you look at Adam and Eve. You look at you look at the person Adam, Eve, God. Okay, you look at the triune effect, right? You look at the triangle. Look at the pyramid, right? It's one aspect, but you might see them as people. But then you go further, into that, and you say, okay, that's not just people. That's your left and right, state of consciousness, right? And then God being your pineal gland, being your Christos, right there. Then you look at what Cain and Abel. Your lower self killing your higher self, or allowing your lower self to kill your higher self when it should be the other way around. It's so many ways to look at it. The mystery of being, exactly. The mystery of being. It's very fascinating. Says Logan M. Jackson, mind you, aren't necessarily paying for their mistakes. It's more so the sins that we committed as individuals. Yeah, we always pay for our mistakes. You know, we sin all the time. We sin in our mind. If we don't sin in our body, we sin in our mind. You know, you think about punching someone in the mouth. That's a sin. Someone can drive you to get angry and provoke you. Okay, people are going to provoke you, to tempt you to be angry. But it's like once you start thinking something, violent towards, another man, that's a sin. If you don't act on it, I'm guilty of that. Not perfect. Part of being responsible is being honest. Exactly. That's the truth right there, man. You have to be honest. That is one thing that's going to basically really, propel you, into further degrees of, masculinity as well as femininity, you know, for women. Um, stability, honesty. Part of stability is being honest. Part of stability is being responsible. It's just these things, are important. Let's see. So I'm trying to learn to enter my dreams. The conscious thought that I know I'm in a dream and move around. It's interesting. So I'm trying to learn how to enter my dreams. I have a conscious thought that I know in my dream and move around. What are you talking about as far as like a vision, like something that because usually what it is like you get is like I feel like God like sprinkles ideas into our head, like drops it on a bunch of people. It's like and just the it's rewarded to the people that stay active with that. Because I feel like everyone's given ideas, just very few people act on it. I mean, you have to act on it at all costs. Success is not really the straight line. You know, it's very dark, lonely. You know, it's that's why very few people are willing to go. You know, it's really like overcoming one sad reality after another. One setback after another. But it's not given to the strong or swift. It's given to those that can persevere. You know, the people that endure the most pain win the game. As was told to me by guy that owned an insurance company I had lunch with, and it made sense to me. He said lucid dreaming. I've had some interesting dreams. I had one dream where I was it's odd. It was like I was in a nightclub, and there was a guy in a black suit on, looked young. He was actually the club owner. And I was with this young lady. She was introducing me to him. I went to the I guess it's like the office room, but it was weird because it had like it's like a fish tank, but it was like almost like wall to wall, but it was like no fish in it. It was just like a fox with no hair. It was a hairless fox, and I was like, what the hell? Then I had then what I'm saying. Then the girl was like wrestling, like playing around me or whatever like that, and then that guy like turned into some type of demon. Then I woke up and I smelled like Lilith flower and like some kind of like dry blood. That was an interesting dream. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to anyone. I don't know why I did that now, but hey. Let me see what we got here. The key to mastering your dreams is to throw away the alarm clock. Yeah. That's when you really don't like what you're doing when you have an alarm clock. I feel like that's important to really look at. I mean, it's okay if you don't. That's another thing. You gotta be honest. Part of that. Do you like what you're doing? Do you like your job? Do you like where you live? Do you like what you drive? Yeah, you can be thankful for what you have, right? You know, yes, we all had to struggle and suffer and go through, and some miracles had to be made to get to where you're at, right? But do you like this? Is this the place where you see yourself? This is how you see yourself in your life. As far as just look at the things, you know, you look at this situation, right? Do you like the person that you're with? Or if you're not with anybody, do you like that? More importantly, do you like yourself? Be honest. It, it, if you don't, then you write that down. Okay, what is it I don't like about myself? What is it I don't like about my significant other? What is it I don't like about this job? What is it I don't like about this car? What is it I don't like about this place? You know. Well, what is it I do like about it? So write what you like about it, like what you don't like about it. Like what you do like about yourself, like what you don't like about yourself. You know, write this stuff down so you can see it, and then see where you can actually, make the changes. You know, I had an honest discussion before. I think I told that story. I remember when I think I had a girlfriend before, and I just told her I just didn't like her. You know, she was shocked at first. You know, I've said it before, but it was kind of like, just kind of took it as a joke. I said it in a witty way, but this kind of way was still kind of witty. I was just like, well, I actually enjoy going to work more than I do coming home seeing you, and I hate my job. And I'm making shit ton of money at that time too. So it was just like, it's my honesty right there. I've had some lucid dreams scary because you're uh, aware you're asleep and you can make anything appear right in front of you. Exactly, just like I told you about that dream not too long ago. I woke up immediately. It was just like man, it was crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how things just happen. But it's like for a reason. 'Cause for me, I ask a lot of questions afterwards. I always ask questions because it's like, why is that presented to me? I need to figure out why. Because I know I'm an Israelite and follow the Bible, but my interests for Egyptology, Quran, and many other cultures, tradition, ideologies, philosophies ignite my spirit. I have this for knowledge and wisdom. Well, it's good to understand the surrounding cultures and the surrounding beliefs, as well as their political climates. That's one thing when I used to study back in the day. I would study the other beliefs around them. So it's different. You can look at Paul, right? I know you're Israelite, but I'm just saying everybody has their views on St. Paul. Muslims have their view, St. Paul as well. It is what it is. When he was going to teach the gospel to, the people that worshipped, they were in a paganism, they were in a different God. So it's interesting when you look at what their beliefs are and why they believe that, and then you look at what he was presenting, and you kind of see how powerful it was, you know. So I definitely, I would encourage you to, if you can, to look at all facets so you can understand. I'm saying, you want to understand what it's like to be an Israelite more. Um, through that, you're going to be a little bit. You're going to be more enriched. I'm gonna say you're going to have more of an appreciation. You're going to have more of a satisfaction to just your lot in life. You know, you being you know of this chosen people. So dream interpretation is a hobby of mine. Yeah, I'm about to talk to you about that. Um, you know, definitely have to talk to you about that because you can interpret dreams. That's dope. I mean, if you don't mind, I'd probably like to even have you on the panel one of these days, and we could chop it up about that because I feel like that's going to be something. You know, that'd be a real dope discussion. The key to mastering your dreams is to throw away the alarm clock. Yeah, we said. I'm sorry, John Dell. You said that before. I did pop one. I'm just going back to the thing. Polo says, Ice. I met my anima in my dreams. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. I had a dream. I actually, one of my dreams. I don't really have too many. I've had a couple. I had one where it's kind of. I actually seen my daughter. I seen what my daughter looked like. I don't have any kids, but I seen what my daughter looked like. That was just kind of. It's interesting. It said your body is perfect and knows how much time it needs. It is true. Just a name. The alarm clock is a mine. Mine F. Yeah. Yeah, you see, I use that. I actually did curse on here already a couple times, you know. But I'm starting to clean that up a little bit. You know, YouTube has actually been rather friendly to me lately. You know, I've been cleaning up a little bit. You know, I just can't say the other F word. I think. You know, I used to just say that just loosely. I mean, you know, the idea doesn't even matter. I can tell you what I do, and you won't be able to do it because you have no resources. Yeah, because it's you know why it's also that firsthand thing. Because really, the firsthand knowledge, right, is really the resource. Actually, it's the source. My apology. Firsthand knowledge is your source. It's cool you said you don't have the resources because yeah, they look at the inventory. That's when you start looking at things when you basically look at other people. When you look at what you have going on as far as your source, and how it's supposed to be carried out. It's just like even when you do with everything else, even dating, friendships, everything that you look at your inventory, you see how this can fit. You see how this can make sense. Like I'm a logical person in a sense. Like everything has to make sense to me. Okay, why this is here, why this belongs. You know, that's just me. He said, John Doe. So technically, you would not need to deep. You do not need to deep sleep. Is that sufficient for the brain for rest? Some good questions in here. I just got lost with that. The journey of oneself is very fun and interesting. I love it. Exactly. The more you discover about yourself, the more you actually, you enjoy the process. The more you actually like yourself, the more intriguing you find yourself. You know. Then by that people are going to treat you differently because you're treating yourself differently because you're really teaching people how to behave around you, and how to actually treat you, how to respect you when you really like yourself. You really like yourself, you really love yourself, you really respect yourself. That all comes from that real discovery of just knowing how valuable you are, and people will treat you according to that value. John Doe, Emma, the brain doesn't need much rest. Works for 20 hours a day before it needs sleep. It's the physical body that breaks down before my brain. That is true. Like my body right now, yeah, I don't really feel like moving around. That's why I like the shows around this time because I'm a little bit more relaxed. I'm used to being up and running, moving around. I'm saying my mind is still going. My body's just like, you know, set at ease. Let me see. I mean, Jackson, what I do is listen to books once the body is done. Mm. I need to actually get into that, to those audio books. While you're like sleep. I think that's pretty dope. I want to get back into like science type of stuff. Ice Turner Senior. Is a universe God within us then? Yep. He's basically in you. But it's like the lower. Remember, it's lowercase. So you're the lowercase him because you're not, you're still his creation. You're not the creator. You're a co-creator of things, but you're not the creator. You know. See, people, you can have access to that because people are scared. It's an acceptance thing. As I was telling Logan the other day, it's really an acceptance thing. So once you accept that, you're accepting the responsibility that comes with that. You can no longer do the things that you were doing before. You know. Yep. Jackson, you need a simple life if you want to maximize your brain. All distractions slow you down. Right there. Right there. Because that's when you're in your senses. It comes to simplify things. That was simple. It's like that movie, was it Last Samurai? Tom Cruise, where he missed the target and he said, because you had your mind on too many things. You were minding too many things. You know, even when you look at the Bible, it talks about single mindedness. Symbolizes self awareness. Self awareness is key. Many people can say that, knowledge of self or whatever like that. Um, don't really have it, like wisdom or anything like awareness. Like people aren't aware of themselves. If people were aware of themselves, they would be moving differently. You know, because I'm trying to have full control of my dreams and thoughts. I want to be able to move around in my dreams and have 100% control. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know what I do when I don't, I like the dreams that I did have, like weird stuff happened. Like I fought like myself to get up, to get out of it, because it was like something was about to happen to me. I was like, no, no. But the thing is about like the dreams, they seem so real. It seemed like you're actually there, and it's like, no, no, I'm not going out like this. You being self-aware, exactly. John Doe, you must have been doing this for a while. The average person wouldn't be able to do that. I'm sure he has. It's definitely a routine. You know, being aware of your inner life. Being aware of your inner life controls your outer life, because you're going to be mindful of what you put into your, you know, put into your ears, as well as what you eat, as well as what you, surround yourself around. Because it's all energy. People say positive energy, negative. It's not really just not negative and positive. Look beyond that. There's some goofy stuff. You know, it's about blood. Some people are bad blood. You know, blood is energy. It's kind of like, you go back and look at the movie the Lichens. Why is it not coming to mind? I'm gonna come back with that. It'll come back. Jeez, it was a good recommendation. It'd have been perfect. It is what it is. Um, I don't keep useless things or people around me. Exactly. You only go as far in life as the people that you have the conversations with on a daily basis. Like if you're basically having conversations with people that talk about nothing, and they aren't really on nothing and do nothing, and really have nothing to offer, then what I'm saying, you're only going to go as far as that. You know, they're more so we call manipulative time wasters, or a lot of people on this planet are just wasting away. Just to be honest with you, they're just wasters, bullshitters. You know, drifters. You know, very few people that are actually doing things. You know, say creative learning. I want to say thank you. I was trying to understand what it means. How many layers of consciousness is within us? And consciousness is multi-dimensional. Absolutely. There's 12 dimensions within your state of consciousness. Didn't tell you that. That's in each one. Why do you think Wu calls it the 36 chambers? They say it's the heart, but it's really the conscious. Even though the heart actually has 36 chambers. but the Bible refers to heart being the brain, the conscious. Boom. You said poor eyes turning. Maybe you need it. Yeah, I'm gonna need a part two because I feel like I might have to go look at because it's like, damn, I'm 2 hours 15 minutes in. But this is good though. It's just like sometimes you have an interesting conversation and it opens up and you know and the thing is I have smart people in my chat room, so you know we're just like we're having dialogue and it's opening up. It's kind of like a think tank. Definitely need a part two. I might even have to even continue this tomorrow or today, say later on today, and just really look at the comments and certain things that were put out, questions, certain things to add on. I might need to revisit that. Excuse me. I believe that sleep is a preview what death is, and our dreams is our spirit and the afterlife as a preview. Damn, I have to run that back. I believe, and he's only 20 years old. Mind you. I believe that sleep is a preview of what death is, and our dreams is our spirit and the afterlife as a preview. Holy shit. Yo, that is really profoundly deep right there. And interesting. Because say if you've had nightmares, yeah. I actually just finished a book on the subject of dream interpretation, but I want to respect the chat, not to make it about me. Respect, indeed, indeed. Yeah, that's kind of like what it is. What it is. Um, Creative learning is like when you do this. I think it's one of the reasons why I don't want to like came up because I don't want to make it about me. I kind of just wanted to make it about like the message about what I'm saying. I feel like what I'm saying is the star. I'm just like you know the person that's just the vehicle bringing the star to the stage. That's how I always look at it. Thanks, Polo. I have heard this before. It's 7. Our dreams actually help us to solve problems in real life. Interesting. It also helps you to see exactly what you're avoiding or what's really after you. um that's just I've seen. But I can interpret that dream you said. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Which one? That about the fox? Yeah, if you don't mind. Let me see. Plug this up. You said maybe that's why I felt. Yeah, I think it was the reason. It's crazy because I didn't even come here you know with that in mind. Just like with pretty much any show that I have. It's not like I have anything set up. Like, oh, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. It's usually like I start off just based on what I found that was interesting about my day. Um, and I found it something that can. I mean, it's actually good for discussion. Something that's can provide a good think piece. Something that's actually pretty funny. You know, then I'm started off there and just kind of just runs. Maybe that's why creative learning. Exactly. Great minds think alike. You already know. Let me say one look, that's sweet. And I thought that today. Not kidding, that's crazy. I'll polish in the book. I used to have a lot of nightmares as a child. I saw a lot of colors and heard voices. Interesting. Someone told me I had a dream that they saw a dragon. And behind the dragon was everything, he was avoiding in his life. I was like, oh shit. He was pretty much living a very hedonist lifestyle. So that's interesting. You said it started with a nightclub and ended with a demon. Yep. It was actually, I think it was Lucifer. It's just like he was in a nice suit. Um, Looked, you know, like a regular, like, club owner dude, like a young club owner dude. You know, like it was kind of like handed down to him. One of those type of people. Let me see. Let's go to this. A little bit about sleep and dreaming. The one with the nightclub, you said it started with the nightclub. Sometimes we were already healed, but we don't realize our dreams are trying to tell us this. That is true. You know what it is? Sometimes is, you can go through something, right? And you could be, over it, but you're not over the effect of it. You know, it's like you look at what slavery. Did the people really heal after they were free from slavery? They were still feeling the effects of it. Just like anything you go through that's, traumatic. The trauma, is no longer there, but the effects of it, you're still feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in your nervous system, your central nervous system. Let's see. Yeah, pull up, but I'm planning live streams where I do it and teach it. Yo, let me know, brother. I'll definitely support you. Reason why people don't start the journey of self-awareness is that they don't have the time. Yeah. I always say they don't have the time, but you never really have the time. The thing is, you never decide to make the time. People don't make the time to do certain things. So the reason why people don't. Yep. Sorry, because this thing jumps around because when the new comments come up, so this is designed that way for sure. If everyone were working at their potential, the income gap wouldn't be the same. Exactly. People are scared of themselves, man. That's what it comes down to. People are scared of their potential. People are really scared of themselves. But they're just really just pursuing the wrong things. You know, I was taught a long time ago to pursue honor. You know, pursue honor, not money. You pursue honor. You'll get the money. It's how you fashion yourself. Let me see. Where we at? 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 I just got up for work. I would love a pet owl. Oh yeah, yeah, man. That's deep. I would like an owl too, man. That would scare the crap out of a lot of people. They see you with a pet owl. Because it has a very unique look to it though. It just stares at you. I also Google the meaning of dreams. That's what's up. That's what's up. You want to keep that wheelhouse going, you know? People don't remember because of alarms, work, school. Luckily, the way I set my life up, I have all the time in the world. That's a smart way to go about it. I definitely have liberty, I would say. I definitely have time freedom to a certain extent, except for like, just when I had, I spend time with, sometimes with, certain, people like my uncle to say, you know, um, the uncle could be a bit long winded at times, but I kind of just let him go, just let him talk. But and it kind of reminds me of me, but it's just like I'm just not long winded. But at times that can inconvenience you, or just really chopping up one of the youngest. It can be in a moment of inconvenience. But after that situation, you're kind of glad that you were there, because you never know. Then they might be offering you something that you might have needed and not even realize it. Creative Learning says, well, either send it to me or tell me the dream again, because I didn't get every bit, and every bit counts. Yeah, I'll definitely send it to you. Because it was just basically broke down. I can kind of run it down a little bit, but you need the details of it, the specifics. It's more so just like I walked into the club with the young lady. We're going to the club. She, her might have been a friend that owned the club. You know, um, we're hanging out, dancing, whatever like that, partying. Then we went to his office, and in his office, it was like a glass like wall, almost kind of like a fish tank, but it was no like water or anything like that. It was just like it was plants. It was interesting. Just looking at it. It was like, okay, it kind of looks like kind of jungle-esque in a way. But then I seen not jungle-esque, but like one of those type of situations. But it was like a hairless fox or a bald fox that got my attention. I'm like, well, what the hell is this? So then I said, okay. So then I took a step away from that. Then me and the girl was playing around, right? Just kind of like, like hi, like, whatever. Not like a wrestle, but it's kind of weird, like how that is, like flirty, touchy, whatever, like that. Then the person that was the club owner, um, was like laughing and joking and whatever like that. Got from this chair, but then once we went by the tank, I seen a fox again. I really looked at it. It was bald. And I went to turn him back around. I saw it. He just turned into like freaking some type of weird demon, like a demon. I think might have been Lucifer. You know. Then I like snapped out of the dream, and then when I woke up from the dream, I smelled like the lily flower and like dry blood. That's one dream. And I actually had a one vision where I was outside with my brother. I maybe a little bit too much. Maybe I share from that, but actually I might as well share. I think I've said it before. Um, when I was 21, and my brother's is like his second time, coming home, and he was actually just trying to have a conversation with me, because I was kind of going almost very similar direction, uh, you know, but looking at it, yeah, I was, even though I'd sworn I was smarter than him, smarter than everybody, better than everybody, how that goes. You're 21. Um, he was really trying to, put some knowledge in me, man. I wasn't really beat, you know. And I was around because okay, yes, he had some good weed, so we are just gonna roll that up, about to do something. So then he says, we spend our whole, like, he was talking about his neighbor. He says, he was he was laughing at his neighbor. He said, "Man, I got my house and my car, and it only took me 6 months. You're struggling to keep your shit." And he was basically like clowning. He's like, "Yeah, you have it for now until they come and take it from you." And he said, the funny thing is, we spend our whole lives chasing after these things, right? And the only thing that matters is that day. And I just kind of remember, just from my grandmother, my father's side, she was a Jehovah's Witness, so she was always talking about Judgment Day and stuff like that. And I don't know what was going on in my head, because I might have just been angry at God or whatever, and was pretty skeptical about it. And I was just like, you know what, mind you, you know this is my mind before that. So it was just like, I was like, you know, F him and his day. Finished rolling that blunt so we could smoke. And 3 minutes after I said that, mighty 3 minutes, I look in the sky, something I seen that was like Wi-Fi, but it was like real. Not Wi-Fi, like sci-fi, but it was like so real. It was like this big face. It was like this, it was a full moon. Clouds came across it. Then it was like this face I seen. It was like eyes that were like, they had fire in it. They looked real serious. Like you could look in the eyes, you see the beginning and end. The hair was like, it was a receding hairline, but the hair was like, I mean, because it was a cloud, so it was gray, you know? And the face was just so serious and real. It was like the most beautiful, scary thing that I ever seen in my life. And my brother, like, once it kind of, then it just kind of like went away. I was just staring at it. Then it went away. Then it was just like that eye left within that cloud, just looking right at me. Then I asked my brother, you know, because we basically both silent for like 3 minutes, because I was kind of like just stuck. Like, what the heck just happened here? I saw this, so I went to tell my brothers, like, did you see this? And I went to look over his, like, he's about a little bit darker than me. He kind of he looked crazy, and he was like, "Hey," he just threw the blunt. He left the blunt there. It was just like, no. I didn't sleep for 3 days. Dead ass. I didn't sleep for 3 days. I was just like, and then the first time I opened up the book, first time I ever opened up the Bible, I opened up the Book of Revelation randomly, read it through about 20 times. The thing that I seen in the book that had my attention was when I talk about like the Word of God. So like, what the Word of God is, and they explain the same way they explained as far as what it looked like. This is the same thing I seen, and I was just like thrown off by it. I was like, okay, wait a minute, wait, what's going on there? Gluten toot. So I started going through it again, reading through it again, critically assessing the book, going through it, kept reading. I was like, wait a minute, okay, if this is real, then this other stuff is real. And I started looking at the bowels of judgment. See, the bowels of judgment, which really shook me up. You know what I'm saying? With it, especially with the freaking uh, uh, the creatures coming out of the ground and stuff like that, with scorpion tails, and I was like, whoa, stinging people, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, if this is real, then that's when I really had gave, you know what I'm saying, myself over to God in that sense, because I was like, if that's going to happen, like if this is real, what I seen, this is real, okay, then everything else is real. I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want none of that. Big boy from Outcast, 2 hours exactly. He said, do you believe time is an illusion? Time is definitely an illusion. Oh yeah, because this thing kind of bumps me out of the comments. I have employees and only take a few meetings a day. Then I just work about 4 to 6 hours daily. Smart move. Smart move. Ice, my dreams are telling me to come off of social media and do more studying. Well, I mean, that's what it's telling you. Well, I'm going to miss your company here, but dreams are telling you that it's for a reason. Like, it depends on, if it's telling you to study the word, then I encourage you. You know, I'll definitely support you with that. So it happens. See, the thing is, social media is not. See, it's not a bad thing, but I think it just turns into a bad thing. It turns into you know, people make it into a bad thing. Like if you come here for your reasons, like if I do go on YouTube, I'm checking out things like with cooking or with like garages. You know, that's one thing I always like wanted to basically have is like this big garage. Like a 100 car garage. I love cars. Um, I would like to be a collector, like Jay Leno. But it's not really about because it's things or stuff. It's what I enjoy. I enjoy cars. I mean, then cooking, you learn how to cook different stuff. I just like how people set things up. You know, So it's kind of like an opportunity to really learn from like experts, and that's the thing what the internet can provide. Um, you can basically get a wealth of information here, something that can actually really help better your life, you know. But it's, you know, it's on here, it's just bullshit, you know, and people get consumed by it. It's also that. Um, People in your reality represent your dreams or your nightmares. Interesting. It is true. It said in high stress moments, I wake up with bruises on my hands from punching shit. Yeah. uh, yeah. It says when I'm growing at 25. Man. But that's wisdom right there, though. You know, if you're graying that early, I mean, I was starting to gray probably like in my early 30s. Any of y'all get or have gotten sleep uh, paralysis? No. That's It'd be an interesting situation. And yeah, you said your hair really looks like that wig. She asked, posed the question. I said, "Yep." Yeah, that's something we probably can discuss. I don't know, one of our lives. About the sleep paralysis. I definitely would like to get your take on that, Ray. Um, that'd be interesting. Probably like one of our upcoming drops with Logan. Please like remind us down the stretch. You know, because I'm joking. I can dig it. Oh, about the social media. Nightclubs is for night, dark. Yep. Notice he is your friend. Notice relationship with a woman. Jungle. Ooh, yeah. Then that fox with no hair. Some wild stuff. They said the other Ray J that got amongst men panel was dope, brother. Us when we did the 'cause we had 3 installments. The first one we did on the other Ray J's channel. Um, I think that might have been our first one we actually did together as far as project wise. But that was our first project we did. Um, yeah, that was. Second one we did with the kind of like a we did with like kind of like a super group thing, you know. Then the third one we did on I think on your channel. So there's going to be a fourth one. It's going to be a fourth installment. You know, it's like there's going to be uh invading our cosmos 3. You know, 4 or 5. You know, however it goes because when you really unpack it, it's a lot more to it. You know, and people, it's just somebody was trying to basically throw a shot at it, like it doesn't. You guys are getting all into this sign. Like, no, the thing is, you're mad because we know how to articulate ourselves. We know how to basically express things. We know how to basically, see situations that's in front of us, and we can actually give uh, a good explanation. In fact, a proper one. See, this is what you come across in here. People, they get mad at you, they because they can't do what you do, so they get upset. But once you got the numbers, though, that's the thing. Why are you upset if you got the numbers? People, believe you, even though I know you're full of shit. You know, Why are you mad? Tell them why you're really mad. Say, are you a millionaire or something? The fox is a trickster who turns into Lucifer, the deceiver. Interesting. That is true. Foxes are, you know, they say swift or shifty. It's important. I mean, nightclub means the interaction occurs unconsciously, not in light. Whoa, that's deep. He said envy and jealousy breeds, but that's the only thing is amongst with black people is that it is there. You know, we're the only people that are jealous of each other. Don't really have that much to be jealous of. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes it's not even the stuff thing. You know what it is? People can be jealous and envious of the potential of just your potential to do something, or your ability to do something. It's not even just it's not even just even it's the ability and the potential they could be jealous and envious of. You know, people like the things that mind you, anyone compliments you on something, it's definitely a thing that they're either jealous or envious of. You know, things that that maybe impressed them or intrigued them or brought them to you. It's a thing that they'll hate about you later on because they can't possess it. People used to always say this to me, and I didn't really get this. He said, they hate you because they ain't you. They said to me specifically, they hate you because they ain't you. And I just blow it off. But then when I really started looking at it, it's like, yeah, that's what it is. Because that's why you got these people that try to impersonate you. That's why you got these people that try to create, you know, uh, their channel off of what you did, you know, and not even give you any type of credit for it, but then try to say, oh, I can do it better than you. You can't do it better than me, you know, because I'm the originator. I did it first and I did it better, you know. I'm being natural. This isn't something see. The thing is, I have to look at it like this. When people, they have to constantly look at my stuff just to keep up with the faking and the fronting, just to keep up doing this. I don't have to look at anybody's stuff. I don't have to listen to any content to get any type of information. I can just come on here and really just talk about, you know, what I'm talking about, either what's going on in my life, you know, or what's going on around me. Because it's really just that's where you can create the difference. Because all this other stuff where they're talking about, in here, as far as like if you're trying to become successful, or if you're trying to basically um you know have successful relationships, right? Because this all is really relationships, at the end of the day. um if you're trying to, I would say, if you want to be successful with women, with your encounter with women, this is what I'm just explaining from where I'm at. You know, this is what I offer. It's not like it's not any other wheelhouses. That's why I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a red pill guy. I'm not save yourself black man or any of that stuff. Like I'm a god amongst men. You know, you know, and I live what I'm talking about. You know, Macology comes from my life, my way of life. You know, just like the scripture game, just like isnosis, isology, the climax. The climax actually I ain't getting into that. But it's just stuff like that, man. It's just like I don't get it. What's going on, Spiz? Said keep mashing. You already know, and that's someone that knows me personally. You know what I'm saying, damn, I'm like 2. hours and 45 minutes in. See, you don't look at the time, right? Let me see if I can see these comments. There's a couple of them. Yep. Oh yeah, it was very foretelling. Very foretelling, especially with the artwork. Yo, it's crazy though, right? A lot of stuff that I said like you be doing stuff and you put the material out and you go back and listen to it. It's like it's really foretelling. It's like whoa, just like in that one actually I can't even say it's just the one that comes to mind. It's a lot of them, but just like what I was talking about um live at my Frank stand, that was one. Um the Who's the Goat. A lot of stuff I said is forced. It's like it's actually it's happening right now. A lot of stuff is just it's just it's interesting how it really unfolds. Yep. See, when you start thinking you're smart, that's when you start making mistakes, big mistakes, and mistakes cost you. It's all part of learning and growing it. But certain mistakes you make, man, Jesus, it's like Joseph in his coat of many colors. Yeah, that's what I went through. If you want to know my life, that's what I went through. Not only just in my own life, one point, but even on my experience on YouTube. I was kind of like Joseph. These guys were supposed to be my brothers, but because I was the one with the coat, they wanted to basically throw me in that well, you know, and take the coat. But they understand that coat is inside me. The colors are inside me, you know. And guess what happened? I eventually got out of that well. Guess what's happening? Hmm? You know how the story goes, right? The ending of that story. It's happening. I love black people can't stand niggas. Uncle Rucker's voice, and majority of people you see are niggas. You know, I wanted to get into the technical stuff because with the Moors, they say with the color black and everything like that. But I keep it that way. I don't. But you get what I'm saying. Like just because you might see someone that might sound like a nigga, talk like a nigga, whatever like that, but he might not just be a nigga in his heart. You know what I'm saying? It's the difference if someone's a nigga at heart. That's what you want to avoid. You know, nigga at heart. John Low, John, I'm sorry, buddy. So I'm getting a little sleepy. You must have always be thirsty for new knowledge and not be complacent. I agree. Where we at? Where we at? Spizzy, what's good? Respect. Before you make decisions, always get information about it. Then decide. I lost a lot of time not reading, studying daily. Yeah, lost a lot of money. Not but that's what just when you're investing. As I said, like as far as when you start investing, I want to unpack that one because then it's going to be like another hour discussion. But you do lose a lot, And I was just kind of like, I felt as though I knew enough to get involved because I'm more like go 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 go. But now I take my time with everything. As long as I know that I'm going to take action, I'm gonna take the proper steps towards that action. You know, you learn from losing, you learn from failing. Garden theory, Adam and serpent. Lucifer was the first act of homosexuality. Hmm. It's another theory. It's an interesting theory. I might think about that. You know, it's because you know when you look at you gotta look at the verse, and you gotta really like unpack it. You know, because why would he allow? You know, yeah, I'm gonna hold that to the side. John Doe, can you elaborate, please? Have you found a more efficient way of learning and consolidating information? Yeah, everybody's learning style is different. You know, everyone's wiring is going to be different. How they might, approach, researching things. One book I would recommend for y'all to get is a book. It's called How to Read a Book. It sounds crazy, right? But it's very helpful. It said now that COVID taught me to think global. I remember in prayer watching the news about the virus. There were a lot of plays to make, but I didn't do them. This stuff I'm learning and hearing you'd never hear in church. I've learned more about the Bible here than I've ever did in church. Wow, that's what's up. I appreciate that, man. I'm just glad to be used as a vessel to convey that, to generate that you know that dialogue. There's a lot more to it because you know what it is. They sign a lot of those government contracts to where as though they're hushed and they're basically told what to teach. Versus like you look at some of those struggling churches, whereas though they're going to be pretty raw. You know what I'm saying? You can find actual good places where they'll teach. They'll actually teach, and you'll feel the presence of God come in there. Like I've actually encountered that before. Some of those back road churches and stuff, like real struggle ones. You know, especially with the music and stuff like that. You know, it's like a struggle choir, man. But you felt the anointing and stuff. Um, that's another thought. But as far as really, that's what's actually missing is a real teaching because the reason why they're keeping you from that because if they really teach you the word, then you'll actually have, you know, you'll actually see your power, the power that you have, and you're able to do something. You're able to get yourself out of the grave and get yourself out of being, oppressed by this system that was designed to destroy you. That's the reason why they put that. It's the reason why they have things set up like that. They said it's supposed to be separation of church and state, but the state is actually in the church. But you can't talk about the church at the state. State legislation. At the town hall. So I'm kind of just. This must be the smartest chat room on YouTube. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Your vibe attracts your tribe, though. It's I have fun pretty much every night at the record button. Just as I'm talking, as I'm teaching, and trust me, I'm learning from y'all as well. Like, don't make no mistake, it's not a one way, road or street. Emma Jackson, I don't know how you learn or what you know. Just whenever you have a problem, go find books, lectures, interviews about how people solved it in the past. It's key. Information is useless if you don't use it. That's true. That's why school is so garbage. It's very garbage. I'll tell you like this, college was a waste of time for me. You want to have, if I have any regrets in life, it was definitely college. They say, oh yeah, you could get your, I was not beat for it. I didn't go to like the first two years, like right out of high school. I was not beat. Like, man, fuck that. But then, my aunt, actually no, it was my aunt, it was my cousin that presented the idea. Um, like let me introduce him to the college experience. So, because she had worked at Howard University, so you know, she put that idea in my head as far as like going to visit. The first time I visited, it was fun. little bit too much fun, and I just wasn't really as mature to do that yet. But it was just like, okay, but still the experience overall wasn't that bad. So then I went to community college, and then I had transferred, and I went to it was just like it was just a waste of time. Like, damn, I could have actually went to like a trade school, you know, we went to the trade school and learned, electrical work or construction, things that I'm actually kind of teaching myself now, like firsthand. Like, damn, I could have been doing this shit, instead of wasting all this fucking money, because I actually enjoy it now, like with woodworking and stuff, and with like learning the wiring system, which is don't do that on your own. I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. Please don't do that. Yeah, I'm a little bit or even like working on cars. I think that was actually pretty fun. But college was a waste of time. If I have any regret in life, it'd definitely be that. And you shouldn't read books. You need to use books. Using books imply you apply the information in the books. Damn, that was it right there. You use books. It's like anything else. Like people use the word use, right? See, people use people use things, right? It's not necessarily a bad word. It's just when you misuse people, when you misuse things, and that could actually be, I would consider part of that. You know, just reading the books, you're misusing it, the purpose. So you could just say something, so you could sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about, but not actually know what you're talking about, not understand it. You know, so I never let school get in the way of my education. Mark Twain. Ah, he had a book was called the Tale of Two Cities, I believe. It's the best of times and the worst of times. It's about the polarities. It's like we're going through right now. It's the best of times and the worst of time. The best of times because the information is available to us. The worst of times is what's going on. But people are too preoccupied looking at the woman in a red dress. You know, just learn what you need. You have no time to learn random things. It's not useful, exactly. And that's what people are chalked up with: useful knowledge. They know Kim Kardashian's shade of lip gloss, but really not some information that can actually help them out of a situation. You know, learn about investing. Learn about different ventures and stuff like that. I'm probably going to do something a little bit more in that regards. I'm going to probably do that somewhere separate, because I want to help, you know, you guys specifically. It's not for the masses or for, you know, I got some stuff that can help you. School is garbage. I could have begun my professional qualifications at 14. I thought I wasted my time in school. It's all right. I mean, I've been there, done that. It is what it is. But it's about what you can do now, and you're still young. You know, very young. It's really just about surrounding yourself around the right people and putting yourself in access to the right information, and then using it, just as though John Doe had said. Yeah. Yep, the 501c3 churches, TD Snakes, Joel Olstein, call him T Snakes. Yeah, I mean, he's somewhat inspirational though, man. He's just spit, you know, his I see where he made his mistake at. It was an interview where he got tripped up, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad to know that people think the way I do because the shit I'm saying right now. say it, other people would think I'm a weirdo or crazy. That's good if they think you're a weirdo, if you think you're crazy. That means you're not normal. You know what I'm saying? That means you're not like them. You're not, carbon copy. You're not something that's just, you know, on a conveyor belt, you know? You want to go against the crowd. You don't want to be in the crowd and do what the crowd are doing, because guess what? The sheep are headed for the slaughter. These people are headed nowhere fast, So if they look at you like you're weird or crazy, great. Thank you. School is kind of useless. You can't apply the information to the real world. Exactly. Big time. Cutting a fucking frog. I mean, how's that help me? I mean, how's any of this stuff help me? Yeah, school's not fun. College was pretty fun. Other than schoolwork, it was pretty fun because stuff we used to do, on campus. You know, But that's another conversation. Not this stuff you would think is obvious. Because like, yeah, I was running around, and, right? Like, no, we're partying. We were basically, doing, promotions and stuff like that. With that, we're having fun. We made money in school, and we had fun. Other than actually sitting in the room, staring at someone talking, really about shit that's just not even important to you. Anyways, Gender, you should lecture at some point to help others. He said, I love school, but I had beautiful teachers. Yeah, you're a lucky guy. He said, abnormal people do abnormal things. That's true. So I truly believe this COVID thing is going to be here for a while, and we're going to be in a quarantine for a couple more years. However, it's a blessing as well to reinvent yourself in this time of being. Yeah, I mean, it's helped in a lot of ways. I mean, to be honest with you, it helps you save a lot of money, you know, and it really helps people to really be mindful of what's going on. Like, where we at with this? Cutting a frog, yeah, it's retarded. So working on your soft skills. Yep. I used to hire kids and do my papers in school. Yeah. Yeah. Because trust me, you're a struggling college student. Like, you take $50. It's a good meal. He said, yeah, it was dumb. Ice. Didn't you have beautiful teachers also? Hell no. Especially the fucking Miss Dunbar. She had this big black fucking chocolate chip on the side of her face that just looked like it just kept getting bigger and bigger, you know? And she was just mean ass lady. She didn't like me, and I didn't like her. We kind of was just there with it. But I think, you know, I just remember a lot of my grade school teachers and stuff like that. It was her. Mrs. Ketchley Clay, I didn't like her. She was a bitch. Um, that guy Kosher, he was a dick. Um, didn't like him. Yeah, I didn't really like anybody. Um, then going to my college professor, I didn't really like them. I didn't like my English professor. Um, she was a cunt. She was like graduated past the bitch. She was like a cunt. She'd have me write the same paper a bunch of times. Didn't like her. Because she said this. She said this, and this. I got myself in trouble. This is where, yeah, it's my fucking mouth. Because this is where it happened. We were talking about this guy in our. Cause he was a lawyer, right? So yeah, and she was like, a feminist, and she had a liquor license, so this is that, this is going right. Don't shave her arms, legs, shit like that situation. you know so she says this about this guy at her office, he won lottery or whatever like that. He got some money, and he's like, it's still an asshole. He's like, I'd be a nice person if I had money, whatever like that. I'd be doing this, and I was just like, no, you wouldn't. You'd still be exactly who you are. You would just have some money. Money only amplifies what you really are. It just brings people. It amplifies. People are more sensitive. Okay, they see you a little bit better. They didn't really notice you before because you weren't shit before them. So that's what it does. It just amplifies what you really are. You're still going to be exactly the same person you are. It just amplifies you, and that got under her skin. I didn't say specifically what she was. I just said it only amplifies. I didn't get into the details of that, or what I actually, my actual opinion of her. You know what I'm saying? But she gave me a hard time. Then I didn't like my psychology. She gave me a hard time. Everybody gave me a hard time. Everybody, it's really except for some of my business classes. They were pretty cool. They were decent, but they were dudes, so I don't consider them beautiful. But yeah, no. All my teachers inspired me to hate being in that environment. You're too honest, like, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. And back then, it was hard for me to just learn to just shut the fuck up. That was my problem. You know, Still to this day. But I'm better at it. It's just like, you know what, not my place. Go away. I just wait till when it is my place. When it's my place, oh yeah, we're gonna let it go. But anyways, folks, it's about 3 hours and 6 minutes in. I had, you know, hella fun, chopping up with y'all. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna bid y'all do, and you know, again later on today. You know, until then, peace and blessings to everyone. It's a holding nothing back. Is that you can't hold anything back. It's not the way to live. I really don't want to hold things back. I want to live my life, you know, that way. The as just as that. I'm just. It's no other way to do it. Peace.